All right, welcome to Define Insanity. Joseph, I got a question about your people. So I went on a date the other day.
The fuck you mean my people?
Well, your people. I went on a date the other day, right, with this nice Italian broad, right? Very classy, kind of looked like a young Carmela Soprano, maybe a little Adriana in there, right? I take her to a pizzeria, naturally, I want to be around her native cuisine.
Makes sense.
And yeah, so we're ordering. We sat in the dining room part, and we order calamari, and
Galamad?
There we go. That's what she said.
Yeah.
She goes to the waiter, Galmar. What the hell is Galmar? What's Galmar? And then the rigatoni alla vodka. She's like, can I get the rigatone and the alla vodka? Like, all of a sudden she has this accent. Like, what is that? You're in an Italian restaurant. You have to use an Italian accent. And it's not even a real Italian accent. It's like a Mike the Situation from Jersey Shore doing an Italian accent.
You know why?
Why?
Because we have style and pizzazz.
Give me a
You wouldn't know anything about that.
Listen, if I go
my little Jewish leprechaun, you have no fucking idea.
Listen, if I go into a kosher deli, I don't go, excuse me, can I please have
Yes, you do.
Can I have the pastrami
absolutely
and the knish?
I've heard you do that before.
But I was being an asshole. I'm talking about normal people don't do that. She was a normal girl.
Yeah, but you got to know your audience, and you got to be able to communicate with them effectively. So reading the room's important.
It's
right?
ridiculous.
Like, you go in there, you say calamari, they're fucking giggling. They're probably smacking their balls up against your octopuses before they give it to you. She says it, and they're like, this broad's nice, I'm going to treat her good, even if she's with this.
So I should go, and maybe next time I'll go, excuse me, can I get some calamari?
No, you just be you, because they'll continue to laugh at you and let the other person,
I've been told I look a little Italian. I could pass for Italian. In the summer when I'm a little tan, they told me I look like Napoli Don. Napoli Don.
No. You look like Ellen DeGeneres on crack for 2 weeks.
Oh, come on, Joe.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I do, when I go to the barbershop, I do ask for the Ellen DeGeneres. I do.
So how was didn't you do a podcast last night?
I did do a podcast.
Guest appearance?
I did do a podcast on, Casey, what's the name of the podcast?
It's called Hi Felicia with Marnie and Felicia.
Hi Felicia. It's a play off of Bye Felicia from the movie Friday.
Felicia wasn't available, so they got Justin. So I guess it was Hi Justin with Marnie and Justin.
They had to have me.
They could keep it Felicia.
They keep the
Hi, Ellen.
podcast up to date. They keep the podcast up to date. It was a really good experience. It's a great podcast, well produced, well run. Marnie's a great host.
I heard the producer is top notch.
Well, they call him.
Me too.
They call the producer Casey Masterpiece. That's his name.
I like that.
Yeah, he's legit.
KC, not Casey.
Casey.
Pause between the syllables.
Yes, we figured that out by now. So what'd you guys talk about?
We talked about a lot of stuff, but one of the main things we talked about was you, because you are an insane person. So our podcast has a description of two comedians, blah, 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 blah. And Joe's like, well, technically I'm not a comedian because I haven't done comedy in like 3 years. Like a little bitch.
Listen, I have a lot of respect for the craft. We were doing it. Look, I do a lot of things, right? What are you going to call me, a masturbator?
Oh, my,
right?
yeah.
I play basketball.
You're
going to refer to me as a basketball
paid?
player?
Have you been paid to play basketball? Paid to masturbate? You were paid to do comedy. You're a comedian.
I hope he was never paid to masturbate.
I've been paid.
Problematic.
I wish. I should join an OnlyFans.
I donated sperm
Suck
once.
on my big toe while I beat off
sperm.
into a cup.
Have you donated
I get
sperm?
millions.
Have you donated sperm?
Not yet. No,
I have.
I'm scared. I've donated sperm, just not the way other people do it, like go to a lab. But I've left my seed all over Mexico and fucking Puerto
You're
Rico
like Johnny
and shit
Appleseed
like
only with sperm. Johnny Sperm
deposits.
Napkins.
Justin, did you donate sperm? Because I know in a previous episode we were talking about you were interested in doing that.
I did actually.
Really?
Yeah, I donated sperm. I didn't really want to tell anyone. I probably blurted that out too quick.
Are you
did,
saving
yeah.
it for a special occasion? Did you freeze it?
No, I donated it. Like I went to a bank and I donated.
Do you have any say on where it lands, or do you just...
No say, but you
should.
You do get to sign off on if you want to be like when they turn 18, if you want to allow them to notify.
But is it like it should be like a draft? Like, does it list your attributes, like your IQ, shit like that? Whether you have like
no, you just lie.
STDs
You just
or
lie
not?
on it. You say, "Do you have any history of alcoholism?" And blah, blah, blah. No, I'm all good.
Holy shit!
I'm all good.
Give me the serial killer, please. Like, who the fuck's doing that?
Do you think these women get a discounted rate if they do have these flaws? Like, is there like a rate for alcoholic sperm?
Like bottom shelf. Let me get that like
30% off.
Yeah.
I really want to have a baby, but things are
like
tight right now.
top shelf, middle shelf, and bottom shelf.
It's got to
sperm.
be, right?
It's got to be.
Absolutely.
Give me a small risk of birth defects.
Yeah.
I don't think
felon.
Jennifer Lopez, for example, is going there and getting low grade semen. You know, she's getting
there's a
top notch.
Big screening process.
Yeah, triple
for J-Lo
filtered
sperm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I didn't tell them that I have ADD. I didn't tell
Or
them that I was an
HIV.
alcoholic.
Good for you.
I do
Way
not
to
have
lie.
Any of the
HIV.
acronyms.
Yeah.
First of all, HIV doesn't exist. It's a conspiracy by the CIA. Second of all, I don't have it if it did exist. All right.
But real quick about the comedian thing,
Yeah.
you got to think about it, right? I mean, we both have points, but the reason why I said that is it's not like I'm doing comedy every week. Whether it's paid or not, if you're like working towards it, then yeah, you call yourself a comedian, right?
Oh my God.
And I get what you're saying because a couple people said the same thing. We're producing comedic content.
Technically, this
and-
is comedic
I
content.
know,
You're
I
comedic
know, I
content.
know.
Didn't say,
What do you want me to do? I'm an
They-
insecure little prick. I don't
It
want to
didn't say
come off like a
stand-up
fraud.
Comedy. You haven't done stand up comedy in 3 years, but you still do comedy. This is comedy.
I fucking make people laugh when I can because I like having a good time.
Yeah, I know.
That's what you should-
You're just a self-deprecating.
I'm just happy to be here.
You're
I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, I'm just happy to be
I'm
here.
just happy to be here.
Oh. You're self-deprecating, and you don't like to give yourself credit. And
What did you say to
there's a
me?
pattern
I've never
here.
shit on myself once.
There's a pattern
Once,
here,
maybe.
and I'm noticing it. And if someone calls you something that is positive, you're like, but wait, I mean, technically, I'm not, technically, so come on, dude.
I don't know if I've ever made that noise
You're
in
a
my life.
comedian. You're a comedian.
All right, that's enough of that.
comedian. You want to do some comedy.
Casey, I don't know what's worse, him calling himself hoser or fucking trying to do an Italian accent
some scungili.
coming out
I
Spanish.
mean,
Maybe I should have said scungili.
Oh, my-
like a scungili.
Right, we got a guest, don't we?
Oh, look at that.
We got a good guest.
coming?
Can't wait. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
is he? Bring him down. Come on down.
Come on down.
All right, so he's got 3 legs now.
I think
right?
he fell at the end.
He's got the biggest cock in the world coming down the steps right now.
They call him the tripod. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, our guest, Randy.
How you guys doing?
What's up, Randy?
How we doing, brother?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, man.
So Randy was booked out for a couple weeks from now, right?
Right.
But Sal's still fucking missing.
Sal is
Jesus
still
Sal's
missing.
Christ.
Yeah,
He
Sal's
was
missing.
supposed to be for this episode,
I know.
and I called him yesterday. No call, no answer, nothing. Straight to
I mean,
voicemail.
at this point, it's been months. I think somebody should go check on him.
Well,
Sal is
I'll
still
be honest,
missing.
part of me thinks that the Russians got him.
You think so?
I think the Russians got him.
KGB?
Yeah. I don't know why. I have no proof, but it's just like a hard instinct.
Yeah.
And usually my instincts are pretty good, so
I
I'm
think
sure
so,
the
too.
Russians got him.
I think there's definitely someone has him. Could be the KGB, could be the CIA, could be our own inside job.
Then I
don't
heard
know.
maybe China was making a bid on him. I don't know. But what I
China?
do know,
Wanted man.
yeah. But what I do know is that in a moment of desperation, Randy stepped up. 2-minute call. I said, "Hey, can you make it Friday?" I said, "Sure."
What were you
do
doing
it.
when he asked you?
Probably watching TV.
Really?
That's right.
Classic
right.
Randy.
Yeah.
Classic Randy.
Anything to stay inside.
So I met Randy almost about a year ago now, and I was struggling hard. And I started coming back, and when I met him, he was just crushing it, helping a lot of people.
When he says meetings, he's saying AA meetings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I lost a bit about my foundation, started putting things before it. And like they say, like anything that you put before your program, you lose. So I got off track a little bit, started getting back on the beam, started doing more service, going to more meetings, met Randy, met a bunch of good guys, and they were just crushing it. And then got to hear his story, and he's a funny bastard, good dude, helps a lot of people. And I want to have him on the podcast because, again, genuinely interested in his story. Right, digging deeper, because we only get glimpses. I mean, 15, 20 minutes at a meeting is fucking, like, it's good, and sometimes you want to hear
much
more.
I could say too.
Yeah, exactly.
Are allowed to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
for those of you who aren't familiar with an AA meeting, but usually there's a speaker that speaks for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then they open it up to the rest of the people at the meeting to, share whatever they're going through at the moment for like 2 or 3 minutes each. That's
Yeah.
how an AA meeting is run.
Yeah, so it's
I
nice.
always thought you were a newcomer when I met you.
Yeah.
Well, because
I was out of my fucking mind.
Yeah.
I was trying to save him. you know?
No, it's
8.5 years later, I was out of my fucking
It's not
mind.
about the time.
No,
I'm telling you,
no,
man.
absolutely not.
We could be crazier than anyone else and have a lot of time. Of
Oh,
course.
yeah, I was crazy.
Yeah, Joe, you're fucking nuts. You know, we all know that.
Yeah, I know. It's nice, though. So, Randy, what's going on, man? How long you been sober now for?
15 months.
15 months. That's
460 days or something like that.
And what was the process? Have you ever tried to do this before?
Yeah. So, like 3 years ago, I was sober for 9 months. I went to Seafield and Seafield Sober House, and
Yep.
I thought I was doing good. I got in a fight with my house manager because I had bought a motorcycle.
Nice.
He kept hosing it down. I don't know if you know Danny.
Oh, I know that.
We lived in Danny's house.
Cambria?
So I park it in the driveway.
Sober house, yeah.
And this guy would fucking wake up at like 5:30 in the morning just to turn the sprinkler on before I got up at 6. And
Wait,
I'd
you
like-
He lived at Cambria.
You lived at Cambria Street?
Yeah.
You lived in the same sober house we lived in?
in the front room, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So-
and you would turn the...
I would get in arguments with him. And then one
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
I just called up this guy and I was like, I moved back into this room I was renting and took my motorcycle, left all my shit there, and stopped on Terrace and got crack and was back at it.
What
That
kind
was
of
a-
motorcycle?
2007 Harley Sportster.
Oh,
Nice.
I got a good story of where that bike's gone because this last run that I did, I had robbed my boss for $6,000, left with a hooker, and the $6,000 left all my clothes, my motorcycle, my tools there. Got arrested when I came back.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
hysterical.
Danny, though, the guy who runs the house, was nuts. When I lived there, one time he got pissed because we weren't doing our chores.
Yeah.
In sober houses, you got to do chores, because helping you become a man and take responsibility. We didn't do our chores, and he fucking goes in the kitchen, rips all the plates out of the cupboard, and starts fucking tossing them like a Greek wedding and smashing them up.
That's totally him. He's
Yeah.
the driest of dry.
Yeah.
He's
You
a
know,
dry
he just,
drunk.
He just
Dry
lives in that
dr- yeah.
basement and yells at people.
Yeah.
Dry drunk
He's
is
been
someone
doing
who
it for a minute, too.
Yeah.
who used to be an alcoholic drinker, and now they're just still an alcoholic, but they don't drink. So they have all the same, character flaws and pain and suffering that's going inside. They're just really good at toughing it out and not drinking.
Justin's like the fucking alcoholic Webster's dictionary.
Well, because, you
He
got to make
explains
sure.
to these people what's going on.
No, well, they
Yeah,
should know.
not all of our listeners have
No, it's
experience.
great.
They just don't drink.
It's
That's
great.
all they do.
That's it. I did that for a year, and I ended up almost killing myself. Literally, like it was brutal.
If you go into a room and see the guy's angry,
Yeah.
he's dry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't be angry
No,
if you
no,
were
no.
doing these steps.
No,
Alcohol, it was killing me, but also it took the edge off. I was able to relax at least for like an hour when I drank. Without alcohol and without a program, without God in my life, it just built up and built up. I had no way to vent it, and I fucking went nuts. I was miserable to everyone. My parents hated me. Everyone fucking hated me. I remember my parents were like, "So this is what sober looks like? Oh, get the guy a fucking drink.
Yeah.
Enough of this shit."
Can you drink, please?
Yeah.
Now?
I
They'd
just heard
rather
that. I
deal
just
with it.
heard that in the meeting today.
It's true.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The guy was like, he was so angry. His mom was like, just go back to drinking.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't deal with this shit
Yeah.
no more.
It's true.
Yeah, you
though.
hear that. And a lot of people do that. It's crazy.
It's not about just stopping drinking. It's really about a spiritual change that happens that is necessary for you to live a normal, healthy, happy, content life. It's crazy.
Yeah, but a lot of people just don't want to look at themselves that closely. Whether it be addict, alcoholic, or just fucking human being walking around. You don't see too much accountability.
Yeah, I didn't want to either.
Nowadays.
That's why I went to 10 rehabs and countless detoxes.
Yeah, of course.
You
Well,
know,
it's
I
everybody
didn't
else's
want the same
fault.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's everybody else's
Well,
fault.
it was everyone else's fault. If they just would have let me drink in peace, everything would have been fine. You know?
Why you got to bust my balls? I'm just trying to shoot some dope and get out of here.
Yeah, but that's the point. You're doing it by yourself now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not fun no more.
Nah.
I joke about that all the time. I'm like, it was cool when I was like going out clubbing, dancing,
Yeah.
banging girls,
Yeah.
and then when I was sitting alone in my room in a dark room, it got pretty creepy and weird and ugly. You
I had
know?
a great
Yeah.
20-year run. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah.
Pissing
You know?
into water bottles because you don't want to go into the bathroom and
Right.
see
You
yourself in
don't-
the mirror.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's when it gets rough when you're
Yeah.
pissing in
And
the
then ev-
bottles.
And
Yo.
then every couple of weeks you go with a garbage bag filled with like empty bottles and half of them are filled
Yeah.
with piss and you dump them out. And then your neighbor sees you like dragging these.
Oh, my God.
And they just look at you and go, morning, neighbor. It's like, good morning. How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, it's nasty. I was like 33, 34, living in the same room I grew up in my
Yeah.
parents' house,
Yeah.
pissed into water bottles. The bathroom is 3 feet away.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to go in there because
Yeah.
my father created the biggest guinea porno bathroom ever. Pink tile everywhere. Mirrors everywhere. On the ceiling. You're taking a shit. You look up. You're like, oh, there I am.
Mirrors
you're in the
everywhere?
bed. Yeah. A pink jacuzzi.
Jeez.
I used to fucking just
That's
put
awesome.
the jacuzzi on.
Having
And,
fun in
yeah. Oh,
That's
my God.
awesome, though.
I just stuck my dick in the fucking, what's it called? The sprayer?
Oh, my God.
All the time. And I would just come in the bathtub and just sit in my own cum, fucking bathe. That was
The
a,
old pool pump.
a disgusting little animal.
That's
I was pissing into water
That's really
bottles.
gross, Joe.
Yeah, of course. I was
Joe, you swam in your own cum?
yeah. I told you I made deposits.
That's
I
something
told you.
that you might want to
Free
edit this out.
deposits.
Would you want this out in the universe? Like people knowing that you swim in cum of your own doing?
It's better than swimming in someone else's cum.
Yeah,
Well, that's a good point.
Like
That's
you hump.
Yeah, like in all the hotel rooms.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like every single hotel bed you've ever stayed in. Trust me.
The jacuzzi
The man makes a
room.
point. The man makes a good point.
Nah, semen. I mean, look, you use 15-year-old Tibetan semen on your face. Look how beautiful the
That's
shine
not
is.
true. What he's
That's why I
referring
got
to,
this olive skin. Look at it.
you
It's
have olive
beautiful.
skin because you're Napolitan Italiano.
A little bit.
No,
there's
when he
nobody on
says-
earth that says it worse than him.
I
You
don't.
notice his Italian
Nobody on
accent sounds like it's
Ew.
slowly dying.
Yeah. Yeah,
He sounds weaker and weaker.
Yeah, he like ages 10 years every minute he
forget
does it.
me.
Yeah.
I always loved you boys.
What are you guys talking about?
By the end of the show, his Italian accent will be dead.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Oh my God. So, okay. 15 months, but you tried 9 months. Well, before
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
9
and you
months.
had 9 months.
Then I went out for a year and a half, 2 years. Just, I did chimneys, so I'd always be able to support my habit. And
What do you mean, did chimneys?
I build and sell chimneys.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
that's
It's
in any
scammy,
sales
you know.
job, though, yeah.
No one knows anything.
But in
no
that-
one knows anything about chimneys. You
Yeah.
can say
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Sure,
Every
anything.
house has a chimney, so
Yeah,
you don't know
exactly.
until it's too
It's
late.
like-
and then
yeah.
I come in being like, I need crack money.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
plumbing.
You got a leak in your kafusik up
Yeah.
there. You see that? It's all fucked up. I got to fix it. Otherwise, you're
That's-
dust.
Getting in a field like that where no one knows anything about it is so genius because you can just show up
Absolutely.
at someone's
And it-
house and be like, yeah, you need a new rotator splint.
Yeah.
Oh, rotator splint. Yeah, it's going to cost you about $3,400.
But he was like, how much is it going to cost? As he's texting
Yeah.
his dealer, $380.
How much do I owe you, Tyrone?
$380. That'll do. I'll
That's
fix it for you for $380.
Dude, that's a great racket for a drug addict.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Did you wear a tuxedo?
No, top hat.
That's amazing.
But that's part of the genius behind like good sales managers and stuff. They like try and get people to go out and spend money and do
Yeah.
drugs because you come in hungrier
Yeah.
and you're just like, fuck,
It's
ba, ba,
fuel.
ba, ba, ba.
That's why drug addicts are the
it's
best
part of it.
salesmen.
Absolutely.
There's been a lot of companies I work for that'll pay me every day. So I'll
They
just
know
get-
what the deal is.
Yeah.
Take the money, break it off to them, and
Yeah.
then I'm good
Scurry
to go.
off.
Yeah.
Can you look at-
The hardest thing is, this last boss moved me into the building so I'd show up in the morning. So he'd just be knocking
Smart
on
man.
the door. Boom,
No.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that's
Know
so
your
funny.
employees. You
Yeah.
got to know your employees.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He
Absolutely.
wasn't smart enough. He put a mailbox safe in my door. After I told him, don't do this. I'm like, put it on your
He's
door.
warning people about,
Like, don't do
Please.
this. It only lasted one day.
Yeah.
I was like, I fried that thing right
Listen,
open.
boss, whatever you do, don't trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Please.
come on.
Yeah.
He moved me in there because I did one bump of heroin. It was like this big. It was the first time I've ever done heroin because I was living at like a hotel and I was up all night smoking crack. And he's like, you got to come in. You sold this job. You're the only one that could do it. You got to come in. I'm like, I can't come in. I can't ride my motorcycle. I'm all
balance yourself
fucked up.
out,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm with this guy. I take this tiny bump. I mean, it's so tiny. It must have been fentanyl. I jump in an Uber, get to my job, and OD in front of my boss and all the people there, all my coworkers, like 6 or 7 of them.
And they straight to the hospital?
Yeah, they know. A cop came, Narcan.
Does
me,
Narcan work with fentanyl?
Yeah. I only got one Narcan, and like I didn't even know I was out. And then my boss is like, "Tell him what you did," and I'm like, "Fuck you!" I'm like, "Get the fuck away!"
I didn't do nothing.
I seen a cop. I'm like, "Oh, fuck you! Get the fuck out of here! I'm not gonna go to jail over this."
What I do.
So-
I had gas. I passed out. Shut the fuck up. Mind your business.
So I went to the hospital, and my boy, he was a good guy, Right? He's a square. He doesn't do drugs or know anything about it. And then when I came back from the hospital, he's like, "You shouldn't live over there at that hotel." He's like, "Move in here." And then
That's nice.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny how many people try and help us, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
really
know,
nice.
and I
Yeah.
fucked him over, like.
Of course you did. We all do. Yeah.
So that's I'm paying back the money that I stole from him. I only owe him like $700. Well, I got arrested for it, so it's got to go through the courts. But I got a 5-year restraining order.
It. That's
so
the
I
program.
only owe him $700 now.
That's getting sober.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Taking responsibility, going back, paying back your debts. Like that's getting sober.
I put
Abstinence is just
50%
not
of all
using
the
drugs
money,
anymore.
yeah.
Still owing this guy money, just telling him to fuck off.
Yeah.
That's why people are miserable.
And
dry
in
drunks.
the beginning, like when I was in outpatient and everything, even my counselor told me, he was like, I was totally like, fuck this guy. He'll
of
never
course.
get his
None of
money.
us, yeah.
And went to a civil adjustment, so it just grows interest. And I'm like, I don't got fucking credit anyway. I don't give a fuck how long this goes for.
Right.
So, but now I got to get closer to God. So
Yeah, you want to.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, you
So
want to be that kind of man who pays
I
his
have like
debts.
a 5-year restraining order, so the probation officer that takes the restitution, I'm not on probation, but they have to go. The money has to go through a probation officer. Let me write a letter for him.
That's cool because you can't call him, you can't contact him. You have a restraining order for the
yeah.
next 5 years, so that's
Which,
cool.
like,
Did he respond to that letter?
No.
No.
When I first got out of rehab, I was stupid and tried to make an early
Yeah, we all do.
amends to him. Amends.
He
Like,
tried to jump the steps.
Yeah.
I called him because
Tell him what jumping the steps
Jumping the
means.
steps means going ahead instead of doing the steps in order. You jump over to step. What is it? Step 9 when you start
Yeah.
making amends.
Yeah.
Start
So
making
I went
amends.
from 0 to 9,
Yeah.
thinking I was like the man and I was
Yeah.
going to get my job back. I'm
Yeah.
clean, and he recorded the whole thing, and I got arrested for it.
Yeah, your crack pipe hasn't even cooled off
Yeah,
yet.
no,
and you're on step
exactly.
9.
I still have blisters on my lips.
I'm sorry, man. You got $50. I didn't mean to I didn't mean to do
I
this.
just want to get back to work. Come on. What you expect was going to happen?
Yo,
You gave me that money.
But that's
Absolute
just
insanity.
That's the kind of shit we do, right?
You define insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does this guy. Everybody does.
I'm the worst.
No, yeah, but you get
I'm a
out.
different type of animal, especially when I drink. Like when I smoke crack, I'm like, but when I drink, I become like gangster. I want to fight someone. I want to steal. I want to do anything.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but crack was what brought you to your knees.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So walk me through this. Walk me through your first drink drug. Like how old were you? What was the scenario?
So I was smoking weed and drinking probably when I was like 14. I started smoking cigarettes early. That's why I think I feel like an all star because I was like hiding, smoking cigarettes, and like when I was like 12. But drinking was like 14. I grew up in Coram, and there was a lot of kids. I had an older brother. He had died of heroin like 16 years ago, but
I'm sorry.
we all looked up to like they were like 3 years older than us, and all my group of friends looked up to them, and my brother would hook us up. He'd hook me up.
They were like rock stars.
Yeah. He'd sell me weed only, so all my friends had to call me. So I'd have to buy the weed.
You
so
were the connect.
I was the connect. And
You were the man.
that's why I learned never give up your connect. Because then they
no,
don't
you
need you
can't.
no more.
No, yeah, exactly.
You'll never get high again for free.
No.
So I started
14, and then you started to grow.
Just started growing, and ever since drink, I've never liked to taste the alcohol, but anytime I drink to get drunk. Like
Right,
I'll
you
just
need it,
shotgun
yeah.
beers right away. I'll
Yeah.
start trying to get them down as fast as possible.
Yep. Hated alcohol.
And I
I
go to
hated the
oblivion.
taste of alcohol. Never liked it, and just drank so much of it.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Because it's the way it made me feel. I didn't give a fuck
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
my
but most of
beer
the
muscles
things-
come on. I think I'm good looking again and shit. And
Yeah.
it's just like
But that was even
Well,
smoking.
no. Yeah,
Smoking
okay.
didn't taste good. It looked cool. That's why I did.
Smoke cigarettes.
Yeah,
Yes,
it looked
Some
cool.
100%.
people
That's
like
why I
it.
originally picked-
Some people
No,
like
you
smoking.
grow to
They-
like it.
They
There's
like
that-
alcohol. They're like, oh, this beer tastes good. I'm like, in my
Yeah.
head, I'm like, no,
No,
beer tastes
yeah,
good.
I could never eat
Although-
and drink at the same time. 'Cause
No,
it's
but
disgusting.
yeah,
Right.
but I could down a bunch of Coronas and crab legs though. That's the
Nah,
one thing I
yeah,
can pair
I could
together.
never do-
But bourbon and a cigar that tasted good to me. Grey Goose rocks that, but
Disgusting.
heroin tasted really good.
I heard if you shot it up with Gatorade,
It
you could
tasted
taste
delicious.
that.
Yeah, it was amazing. No, so all right. So what was because some people don't remember their first drink, right? Like I say it all the time. It's like debatable.
I know the
amongst my
first time I
family,
blacked
but
out.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
That's what I was going to ask.
So it was me and my friends. We had this thing where we'd go to the liquor store and someone would like distract the guy in the front, and we stole the whole box of Southern Comforts, the bottles. And
Oh, the old switcheroo. Is that called? Yeah.
we went in the
No,
back
bro.
door and just grabbed the box and then took off while he was in the front.
Yeah,
It was
that's
the
called
doors
just
open.
fucking
What's good for the goose
grab
is good
and
for
run.
the gander.
Yeah, it's just called
Smash and grab
Yeah,
type
exactly.
thing.
It's called,
When in Rome.
That's called give me your shit, bitch.
But
That's
I
what
remember
that's called.
drinking that. We all had our own bottles, and I finished the whole bottle off. And
What
I remember
age
I
is
was
this?
in like 15.
Okay,
probably.
right out the
Yeah,
gate. So you just
yeah.
started smoking and drinking at 14,
Yeah.
and you're already doing smash and grab jogs.
Well, yeah, I was always a thief. Like I was,
Of course, that
I was
was-
stealing. When I was like 14, I got caught at the handy pantry stealing cigarettes and got arrested before school.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What about the
I
chromies?
felt cool
You stole
too
the
going into
chromies?
school.
course.
I had like the cuff marks.
Yeah.
Like, I got arrested.
You ever steal those little chromies off the cars? Were you?
Yeah,
yeah,
all
yeah.
about that.
Or, and,
Everyone
yeah, like
did.
the Mack trucks, the
Yeah,
Mack dog.
yeah,
Those things were like
absolutely.
the priceless ones.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
Riding around
Love
on
that
our
shit.
bikes with fucking.
The Mercedes one.
We used to sell them straight to the gas station.
Yeah,
Do you think
that's so
kids still
funny.
steal chromies?
I don't know.
I don't think
know.
they like make them like that
No.
anymore.
I don't
look
know
around.
such a thing, and I mean, I grew up on the other side of the country, and that was
Huge.
the
This
thing.
is the thing. I think kids
It
are just a lot
transcended
lamer.
coastlines.
I think nowadays there's a lot.
Well, and the
lamer.
ring cameras pretty much kibosh everything.
I
of
know. We were
stealing.
lucky, dude. If we were
Surveillance
criminals
state.
now,
You couldn't do anything
It's
now.
rough
you know?
now.
It's very
dude.
hard for a kid to be a good criminal now because they're not smart enough to be good criminals
Well,
around
they
the
just take it
surveillance
straight from
state.
the computer when you don't
that's
see
what I was
it.
going to say. They've elevated their game too. It's like the simplest thing.
Is that like Napster?
Look,
What do you guys talking about?
They're mining Bitcoin from you.
in the
That's different.
in the simplest form, it's been going on forever. Cops, FBI, whoever, they create a safe, and then criminals learn how to break it. Right, that's in
Yeah.
the simplest form. Anything, whether
Right.
like with technology, it just keeps on going like that. They do something, and then criminals learn how to break it, and then they got to redo it, and it's just on
Yeah.
and on and on. So
Yeah, kids
now
today
the
are like
criminals are
hackers,
like,
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They're
And these kids
fucking
learn
bunch of
real young.
tech geeks.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy what they could do. You know, like
I'm saying that, but I'm a Neanderthal idiot.
I don't know anything about computers. I know that there was a big thing with Napster. Is that still around?
Yeah.
Is there like a,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
kids were
You are really aging yourself.
The kids were doing the hacking.
That Tibetan semen is not doing you any good over
Sandra
the
Bullock
radio.
had something to do with the hacking. I
Well,
don't
no,
know.
that's what I know from
that's
because
the
I watched
Italian
this movie.
job movie,
I wa-
Napster.
I watched this
Great
movie.
movie.
I watched a movie called The Net with
Ooh,
that
good
girl
movie
from the
too.
bus.
Yeah, Sandra
Yeah.
Bullock.
Bullock.
yeah.
Right,
Big
right.
butt.
Yeah,
She's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, she got the booty.
She's still smoking
I
out.
don't-
She's
yeah.
like in her 50s.
So you're 15 and you just smashed down a bottle of Southern Comfort.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
I wound up fighting my friend Brian.
Okay.
And then I passed out in a LeBaron. It was my friend, this girl Jenna's. It was her mother's car. It was a convertible, and I remember just like my whole body hanging out the door.
Chrysler LeBaron.
It's Chrysler LeBaron.
love-
It wasn't John Voight's LeBaron. Was it?
No. This was a shit box. But
Teeth mark on the pencil.
Every LeBaron was a convertible.
yeah.
The old-
They
were
never
welcome,
made
okay.
a hard top
Great.
LeBaron.
that's where I became my
exactly.
love for convertibles. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
That was
you
an
know?
awesome car. I don't care what anyone says. The Chrysler LeBaron and the Buick Regal. That
The
car
Regal's
kicked
still killing
ass.
ass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Old school ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're sleeping in the LeBaron.
I'm like throwing up out of this.
Okay.
I can remember like how bad I was throwing up. I think it was like the first time I had alcohol poisoning. Like,
Oh, you went after. Yeah.
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
done, yeah. And then all
15,
my friends,
a whole bottle of
that-
Southern.
and you know, I had like 15 friends with me at the
course.
time, and everyone just left me there.
Well, did you like just, why'd you get into a fight with your friend Brian? You just,
Yeah, well, anytime I drink, I get into
Angry.
a fight. I've
Brian was
actually,
probably being a
he's
fucking
still my
dick,
best
right?
friend, and I fought this kid like 5 or 6 like real fist
That's a
fights
real
until
friend.
someone fucking.
That's a
And
real
if you're
friend.
still friends after real fist, I mean, that's like, that
that's
is
a real-
real
that's
friend.
man
yeah,
shit.
100%.
That's man
He
shit.
knocked
Yeah.
out my front teeth.
Yeah, it's
It
man
wasn't
shit.
in a fight, but he pushed me to the ground. We were in Williamsburg. He pushed me, and I wasn't looking from behind.
Oh.
I went straight. It was like in front of a million girls, too. It was
Oh,
like
that's
straight
fucked up.
teeth to the concrete. Like, oh.
Well, I guess he won that round.
Yeah, he did. He bought me teeth the next day.
Oh, my God.
See, that's a good friend. A good friend is someone who can knock your 2 front teeth out and then buy you 2 front teeth
He got
the
me
next
a
day.
50 bag of Coke to numb it for the night.
There you go.
You know, when I was
Hey.
ready to go.
He made the amends.
Yeah,
Although
he-
not in the program,
No,
he made the
no,
amends,
yeah.
right? You don't just
Yeah.
say you're sorry.
It
You
was
break
either
the
that
fence,
or
you
his
mend
teeth.
the fence.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
It was
of
either
course.
that or his teeth, so he paid.
So the first actual drink when you get trashed. After you do that, do your friends like, well, you're a dick, anything like that? Or you just keep ripping and
always.
roaming?
Yeah.
So
I kept going, but it was always that I was an asshole when I drank. And
when did things start to pick up? Were you drinking for a while after that?
Yeah,
or
so
like
I-
immediately you started accelerating and progressing into other
well,
shit?
it was always like weekend drinking. You know, I went to school, high school, and shit. I didn't graduate high school, but I still went.
You
know,
went.
like,
You went. That's
That
an
was good.
accomplishment.
I
Good
grew
for
up
you.
in Quorum, so when the school was like 15 miles away, so we'd have to take the bus to school, cut out into the woods, and then cut back in to get back home because we couldn't walk home. It was like 15 miles away. Yeah,
that's wild.
And we'd just be in the woods smoking weed and drinking.
Be like, where were you all day? I was in the bathroom. For 8 hours?
I had a concussion.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't make it. So you would just go to the woods and get banged up.
Yeah, it was a lot, like during the week, it was always smoking weed. I always loved the weed. Like from when I was like 13, 14, I smoked weed up until like 5 years ago.
Yeah, because it chilled out fucking.
Yeah, it was it slowed my mind down, Like it slowed my whole
And there was no
down.
hangover.
No, it was just great,
Randy, would you say like, even before the drugs and alcohol, like what type of person were you? Like, did you have anything going on before that? Like, did you have anything whether you were uncomfortable, whether you were angry and trying to make yourself not angry, or
I don't know.
Were you just loving it? Like,
I think about that a lot. Like I loved life. I did. Like I had a good family. I had both of my parents, my 2 brothers, a great neighborhood. I had a girlfriend young from I was like 14 to 22. I thought I'd marry the girl, but shit happened with that. But now I always thought I had a good life. I really did, and like. I always felt like this was fun, and this is how fun was had. Like,
that sounds like such an awesome story that he just glossed over.
I was just going to say
Shit
that.
happened with that. It's like the yada 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 yada. I have HIV.
I can tell you what happened. So the girl I was dating, Sophia, was her best friend.
Okay.
I had an ex-girlfriend named Sophia. Yeah, nice. With a PH or an F?
F.
Same one. South American.
Oh, no, she's Italian.
Is she a Napolitana?
She was from out here.
Now he got younger and turned into a woman.
She was from out here.
Sounds like Justin's Italian accent might pull through.
Yeah.
He might make it.
Talk about the girls.
Somebody put him on somebody put him on a respirator. He's good now. All right, so Sophia with an F.
So she was
not Latino.
I met her through Jenna, that girl that had the shed.
Yeah.
So Sophia wound up living with me when we turned like 17 or so, and she moved into my parents' house with me. And she went home the first time on Christmas Eve, and I had sex with Jenna.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's not going to work out.
Yeah, no. Then they didn't know for a long time. Well, Jenna never told her.
Girls are fucked up.
I remember having sex with Jenna and then being like, please don't tell Sophia. That's the one and only girl I ever cheated on because I really do regret it.
But was the goal, be honest, was the goal to get all 3 of them in bed at the same time? Or all 2 of them,
no,
all 3 of you in bed?
No, because I don't know.
You didn't have the deep down in the back of your head, like maybe this could happen in the right situation or the right circumstances.
I probably could. I also had sex with her sister, but this was like 10 years later. Sophia's sister.
Well, it's 10 years later.
Yeah. The statute of limitations.
That thought came to my mind of having both of them at the same time.
Yeah,
of course.
Because I always think about stuff like that.
Yes,
always.
of course.
Always.
Of course.
Especially if the girl I'm dating has a sister. Oh my gosh, that's it.
Yeah.
Or a hot mom.
Like,
my girlfriend has 2 brothers. I've thought about that a couple of times.
Oh my god.
It gets exciting,
Oh,
they both
you gotta work with what you got.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. They both have beards. Like maybe we could have some kind of weird beard orgy
running
together.
around in their whitey tighties.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how we do it.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I find it to be a little nauseating. Joe, it clearly is your thing, and you
100%.
like it.
Well, listen, I just like to have a good time.
Yeah, we all know that. This is a running
Whoever's
thing with Joe.
around.
I'm just trying to have a good time. That's it.
Yeah.
Girls aren't always around,
Wait, girls aren't always around. Were you in prison?
I was.
You were in prison.
We're going to get to that.
knew it.
We're going to get to that.
I
Right
knew it,
now,
though.
we're talking about Sophia and
But
Jenna
there was no
and
action
the love
there.
triangle. Yeah.
Yeah, the love and the
So-
sister.
No, and I regret it,
Yeah, no, of course.
But we did. Me and Sophia got back together, and we were together for like another 2 years, and moved into an apartment, and then it just
And she
it was
knew?
never the same.
She
Yeah,
knew?
after she knew, yeah.
Wow, this is Sophia. Are you still with her?
No, I wish she got 2 kids now. She lives in Florida, and like,
You on good terms?
No, we have. I did make an amends to her through Facebook. She's in Florida, and then I was like, well, since I got you here, I want to, make an amends, and I wrote out this whole thing of, like how I was an addict and a dry alcoholic, and I treated you wrong, and I was a piece of shit, and I can't control myself when I'm drunk, high, or whatever. I really can't.
What'd she say?
she appreciated it. She said, I really appreciate it. And that was the first time I talked to her in like 15 years, you know?
Yeah, but that's what it's about, like making those changes. So, and that time it was like time for an amends. You didn't skip the process.
No.
You were
I was on amends. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You were prepared.
I remember after I did that, I sent it all to my sponsor, and I was like, I felt great about that one because I thought it would never happen.
Yes.
You know, that was one like I was going to write a letter and burn it or some bullshit. You know, like
which some of us have to do.
You have to do. Yeah, exactly. So that was a good one to get out. You know, like that was definitely a good one to get out. You know,
and that's why you got to take direction though, because you don't know what decision to make sometimes. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing sometimes. My mind doesn't work so well. So even when I was talking to my sponsor about some of the girls, he's like, listen, you want to make an amends? Leave those girls alone and treat women better moving forward. He's like, you want to write a letter? Like you said.
Yeah. I make bad decisions always. So all my decisions, I literally, talk to my sponsor about anything I do. I make all decisions for me. That's not God's will. I want to know what I should do, and I want to tell me what to do.
Yes.
Everything, anytime I make a decision, it's for the benefit of me or to make my life better and not in a good way,
absolutely.
Who knows what will happen.
Yes, that's what, like I always say about the Serenity Prayer, because it seems simple, and I understand that, I should have the courage to change the things I can, right? And accept the things I can't. But the wisdom to know the difference is where I get fucked up. Because there's plenty of time. Yeah, there's plenty of times I think, no, I could change that person. Or I could do this. Or I could do that.
Sometimes I don't have the wisdom to know the difference.
No, that's why you call people and run it by them. Yeah, exactly. I'm an idiot.
It's supposed to be 3, so you get an answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't call one guy.
You run it by 40 until someone finally says yes, and I'm smoking crack again.
My natural decision is to make whatever is going to make me feel good in that moment.
Absolutely.
Without thinking about anything else outside of that.
Yeah. It's funny because
I don't want to be uncomfortable in a situation, so any way I could get out of that would be my decision.
Right, that's always my go-to decision. George Costanza from Seinfeld says there's a whole episode about doing the opposite.
Yes. I just seen this the other day.
That's a comedy show, right? But you know how profound and wise that is?
37, I live at home.
Right, and I live with my parents, and I'm unemployed, 37, and I live at home. I live with my parents. Yeah.
I'm George.
And it worked.
And it worked,
No, but seriously, I feel like that's the same with my life. Like if I literally do the opposite, it's not going to work every time, but it's going to work more times than it would if I do everything that my natural instinct says to do.
Absolutely.
Me doing the opposite will work more, will be better for me and everyone else around.
First thought, wrong thought.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when you talk to people, and even as you're saying some shit, like sometimes I'm really convinced of what I'm saying is like good intention, truth, or whatever, just what I should do.
Lie to yourself.
But there's a bunch of times where as I'm saying it, I'm like, I sound out of my fucking mind. Like as it's coming out of my mouth, it sounds so normal in here. But once I say it to my sponsor or whoever, I'm just talking, as it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, wow, I sound psychotic. Like by that point, I don't even need I still take it, but I don't even need the direction.
And I know
the
your
direction's
sponsor.
the same.
Your sponsor will definitely say, Joe, you sound like a psychopath.
Oh, all the time.
He'll call you
like,
out.
Yeah.
He's like, dude. I'd like to get him on the show one day.
Delusional.
I would love to get Joe's sponsor on the show.
No, he's great. Yeah. He's great.
He hasn't steered me wrong, my sponsor, at all.
But exactly.
He's done nothing but made my life better.
100%. And you know what I love about? I don't know if I'm sure you're a sponsor. My sponsor is not going to give me direction on something I have experience with. Like he'll give me his opinion and basically say like, why don't you call so-and-so? He has 2-step. Or why don't you call this? Someone who's been through it, not just reading a fucking book, speaking from some hilltop. This is what you should do. Like someone who's lived through it and actually walked through it. Oh, your wife had cancer too? How'd you get through that? Like I want to know that this is how we got where we were.
Right.
Is you asking this, how'd you do that? Because I was as sick as you. I was a piece of shit. I was fucking up. I never thought I'd make it. I wanted to kill myself. Well, how?
Yeah, I was a piece of shit.
Yeah. That's important to me too. That's humbling to me and he has so much time, but he's just willing to be like, yo, I don't have that experience. I could give you my opinion, but I'd rather you go speak to 2 other guys who's actually lived through it and can tell you exactly what they did to get through it.
That's why it's so important to have a network.
Yes.
It's not just you and your sponsor, and your sponsor has a network, you have a network, and it's like you said.
You have to make your own sober friends.
Right.
Sure.
Yes.
That's how I feel I did
it.
so well, because I made a big group and we all still pretty much together, It's
huge. That's so important. We had the same thing in our sober house. It makes a ton of difference. And then you see a couple of guys that are on the fence. They kind of like link in with the herd because one, they see you not just going to meetings. They see that life doesn't stop because you get sober. They see you having fun, laughing, fucking wild. Like, are you sure these guys are sober?
Real laughs though, not like drunken fake emotions that are squashed.
I want to get back to Randy's story because one, what interests me is the progression, right? And also like, I don't know, certain times along the progression, the path, like shit comes up. Like you had that first drink where you really lost control. What was the progression like from that time, like 15 up until, after high school?
Up
when you started
until
getting your life
like
together?
21, it was always drinking and smoking weed.
Just drinking and smoking weed,
Yeah,
chilling,
just-
parties.
yeah,
You blacked out
parties.
once in a while, fucked some people
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
got fucked
Got
up.
into some
yeah.
fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I always was like, oh, I'll never do coke. All my friends are doing it. And they started when they were like 17, 16, and I just never did it.
You thought it was like beneath you? Like,
Or they were drug addicts. Yeah,
Drug addict,
yeah.
That's so
I
funny.
just
It's
love
exactly
weed. Yeah,
like me.
it's
Yep.
like the line I wouldn't cross.
Right.
Yeah.
But you were able to turn.
It was such a little line, it was like this long.
And then they got bigger and bigger. I kept sniffing them.
You know what I noticed too? It was the people like from in my circle. It was the people that couldn't drink as much as me that started doing the drugs earlier.
Yeah.
I was able to drink a bottle of
Yeah.
vodka in under an hour.
And then when you do coke and realize you could drink all night and just
Right.
have fun, it becomes
It's like- Performance enhancing drugs for
exactly.
drinking.
It's like a
100%.
Viagra.
cocaine.
Yeah.
But I didn't need the cocaine to. I could
So I
still
never
out-drink
wanted
that.
to go to sleep. I always have that FOMO of missing out, or who knows what girl's going to come in, or what's going to happen,
Right.
or.
Right.
You're all-
And God forbid you fell asleep in front of my friends, they'd fucking draw all over you, or
Right.
glue
Well,
your face to the
don't
floor
fall
or
asleep
some
in-
shit.
All right, we've done
you
some
know?
fucked up shit.
Yeah.
So
Don't fall
bad.
asleep in front of
So
Joe
bad.
because Joe will bang you in the ass.
Yeah. So tell me about that first time. You're saying no to coke. You're saying, what
No.
was that like
No.
the first time?
It was.
Were you getting near blacked out? And was it a necessity?
And then that's what it was. It was like a necessity, and I went in the bathroom with my friend and came out like a brand new guy. Like I just started over.
Oh, what?
Why didn't anybody tell me this does this?
Yeah. 'Cause most of the time,
It's like peanut butter
I
and
have
jelly.
one friend that would just, who do coke and he'd be like 3 inches from your face, just rambling on.
Yeah,
Back
yeah,
on.
get him the
You were
fuck
just like,
outta
I was
here.
like, this is horrible.
Yeah, because
you
he didn't
know?
have
Away
enough
from
booze
me.
in him.
He's like
Wasn't
spitting
leveled out.
on. He's
Yeah.
like spitting on
Oh my
you,
God.
just
Telling you
babbling the
all
same
this
thing. Yeah,
bullshit.
he'd always say, "If I got to kiss it and you got to kiss it, what do we got?" Like, get the fuck away from me.
And then if that guy had the coke, and then
Yeah.
you had to listen to him
Oh,
because
that's the
you
worst.
were just waiting for him to shut up so he can give you another bump.
So then that's what happened. So
Yeah.
once I was turned like 22, I started selling coke, and that's where I always had coke.
See, that's what we're fucked
Yeah.
up. Most people start out drug dealers and don't get high on their supply.
No.
We start out
Yeah.
addicts and we're like, it'd be much better if I sold this shit
because that was
so I
for
could
free.
get high. Yeah.
And then the
Smart.
girl,
And then you're a
the
few
girls,
grand in
you
the
get-
hole
yeah,
because
yeah. There's so
you're
many
using
times
everything.
I'd get a whole ounce and just not
God.
have anything.
No,
Yeah.
God. And
I'd,
every
I'd have a good time, I thought,
And you were getting wholesale prices.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy how cheap it was getting it for, like, compared to now.
you ever turn on the air conditioning and sometimes you get that coke smell? Yeah, that's nobody knows what I'm talking about. And I'll turn on my air conditioner. I'll be like, yo, the fuck is that? And they're like,
Sense
huh?
memory,
I'm like, yeah, of course.
When I was in the Seafield house this time, I came out of my room. I'm like, it smells like crack.
Yeah.
And I found out that this
was a
kid
guy
that I
who-
actually knew was smoking crack in the bathroom.
bathroom. Yeah.
Everyone was looking at me
It's like,
like,
shut
oh,
the
weird.
fuck
I'm like,
up,
it
dude.
smells like fucking crack in here, yo.
Because
That's
I'm
the
smoking
thing.
crack, bitch.
That's the thing about sober houses. I mean, you're not guaranteed to be a sober house.
No.
There's always one or two guys smoking
yeah.
crack while he's taking a shower.
We
you
had
know?
Robbie Banks get picked up by ATF, like 17, 15, New
we
Jersey, New
spoke
York
about this
task force.
on another episode,
Yeah,
but I just want to let him know.
Randy,
Yeah,
yeah.
let Randy know. Yeah, we had a guy living in
In
our house.
Cambria House.
His name was, I kid you not,
Well,
his legal name.
No, it's not his legal name.
Oh, wasn't his legal
no,
name? Oh.
we called him that like idiots.
Oh,
it was
I thought
on
that
the-
was his real name.
No,
Rob Banks.
No.
He
Rob
was
Banks.
he was
No,
a bank
we
robber.
found out later
Yeah.
he was a little Weasley kid. We found out
very
later that
strippy and
he
Weasley.
but he was funny that
Yeah.
he robbed like 3 banks.
Yeah.
So we started calling him Robbie Banks, and it was on like the chore list. Rob Banks.
Wait, that wasn't his real name?
No, you fucking momo.
What was his real name?
I have no idea.
Oh, that's so less cool.
Robbie Banks.
I thought his name was Rob Banks the whole time.
So we get
Hey,
like,
Rob Banks.
Tree in the morning. We get like fucking
I've been telling
15,
everyone this
17
story, and
New
it's-
Jersey, New York task force kicking the door, fucking coming, guns ablaze and going nuts, flashlights, for this kid Rob Banks. I'm like, could you imagine these guys get all geared up? You know, they're all jacked up for fuck. Let's go on this raid, and they fucking kick in the door for Rob Banks. He looked like fucking the alien from American Dad. Like, what are you doing?
Grace.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this fucking kid. You could have sent the Boy Scouts to go pick this kid
If
up.
a wet tissue was a human.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
There's no. So it's so funny though that he actually robbed banks because he looked so unassuming, and we were like, yo,
He was
we
good
thought
at
he
it.
was bullshitting.
Apparently, he was good at it.
Yeah, he was good. It doesn't take much. You just go in there and handle it.
How good are you if
he
you
did
get
it without
caught? Yeah.
guns. He robbed banks without guns.
Yeah, with a note. He said he
if
had
you
one.
put a note
Yeah.
down, they have to give you the money.
Yeah, exactly.
If
Oh,
I'm
no, I
robbing
know.
If I'm robbing a bank,
Well, the
I'm
note says
going
I
in
have a
there.
gun.
But
right?
again,
No,
Justin,
I don't think so.
We're
If
not
I'm-
idiots. I think
Yeah.
like we're gonna rob people.
I'm going in there with a 12 gauge and maybe a hand grenade.
That's why I always rob
I'd
drug
go in with a
dealers.
switchblade and be like,
Yeah,
you try to
Yeah.
put it under the thing.
Like that. Who's going in to rob banks nowadays?
No,
It's just not
no.
a smart thing. You know?
I don't know. I was thinking about doing it.
They'll track you all the way back to your house with these ring cameras
Ring
and all
cameras,
types of your
street
phone.
cameras, this, that.
Triangulate your phone to
Yo,
you where you
it's
are.
ridiculous now.
It's not
That's
worth
why
any
when,
of that.
when they don't catch somebody, you got to question why. Because it's
fucked
just like,
Yeah.
it's
They know
crazy.
someone.
But anyway, so you're 22, right? You get this Coke, you're doing it, you're having a good time, you realize, like, this is what I needed all along, right?
Just party every night, sleep all day, not have to work. I was doing chimneys though.
So you've been doing chimneys.
Just
for
doing
how,
chimneys through all
I
this.
How old
started
are you?
chimneys when I was 18.
and how old are you now?
43.
Nice. Oh, I'm gonna
So
be,
I stopped
be
doing
43
chimney
in a couple weeks.
Yeah, the only time I stopped was when I went to prison and then Florida twice.
What, they
And,
don't need chimneys in Florida?
Now I found that I was like, I could get a job anywhere. You go down to Florida, they don't need a fucking
No.
heater.
Hey, could you fix a boat, jerk
Yeah.
off?
They got some
right.
fireplaces, but there's no money in there.
Yeah,
you
You in
know?
the panhandle?
Get into
Yeah,
air
there was the
conditioning.
panhandle. I was in the panhandle in prison. It does get cold.
What prison? You were prison?
Because I forget the name. It was a long time ago. I went through like the reception centers. I went through Orlando reception center for a month, and then Butler for a month,
How old were you in
and
prison? when
then
you
up
went
to the
prison?
panhandle. 26.
Oh, because this is not that long after. So it just
Yeah.
you kept going until 26 of just dealing coke, doing coke,
Well, yeah,
drinking.
yeah.
And then eventually you went to prison. What'd you go to prison for?
So I moved to Florida. It was the first time I ever took Xanax. We were at a bar. And my friend Raul went to take my other friends home.
Love that
with
name.
him.
Of course, it was a row.
Yeah,
Love that name.
He was in my friend Dave's car, so he went and took my other friends home. And on his way back, he got a DWI. So we're like, oh shit, he's got. I'm with my other friend. That it's his car. We don't know what happened. This guy never came back. So I took Xanax. It was the first time I was getting these little blue footballs from this guy. He was giving it to me like 50 cents, so I took like 6 throughout the day, and I was drinking, and I was like annihilated. My discovery, that's what the bartender said in her statement, that I was annihilated. So when we left there, we started walking. I thought we walked for like miles, but it was really like right around the bar, and it was like 2 houses. There was like an apartment complex with like 50 kids in it. So my friend goes up. He's like, yo, can you guys take us home? And we'll give you Xanax and some money. And the kids were like, no. And I had a pistol. And I was in like picture. I was just in gym shorts and a T-shirt.
And you're
with a
26
pistol.
now,
I'm
yeah.
26 years old.
Where
and
is this?
In Florida, in Spring Hill.
Spring Hill. Florida.
That's
Love
probably
Florida.
the amends I would like to make if I could ever find those kids. But
You'll never find them.
so they're like talking shit to my friend, like, nah, fuck you, get out of here, we're not gonna give you a ride. And then I came over and I was like, one of you fuckers are gonna give us a ride, or I'm gonna kill one of you motherfuckers. And I
Right.
shot the gun off. I was like,
What kind of gun?
it was a little 380.
All
The kids took off. Yeah, yeah, or like hurt my hand
Yeah.
and shit, or like pinch my
Yeah.
hand. Yeah.
Ow! What the fuck?
Oh, kickback there.
One of those little guns that prostitutes used to keep in their little
Kept it in my cleavage. You know?
Yeah.
Imagine him pulling out that little gun, though. How tiny it looked
Oh
in
my
his
God.
paws, too. It
It's
looked
like
like
this
that.
big,
Yeah.
One of you fuckers
That
are gonna
makes it
give me
so
a ride
much better.
home.
Right.
So I shot off the gun, and I'm on Xanax. I'm like mumbling. I don't,
Yeah.
So most of it I know from the discovery. So then
Right, Discovery is part of the court.
discoveries,
proceedings.
all the paperwork, all the
So you
the
don't know
prosecutor
until
and
you see
everyone
that
puts-
shit exactly how fucked
So
up.
Blackout.
in Florida, so I like throw the gun. The cops come. They were like there in like a minute.
Probably threw the gun like
Yeah,
10 feet away from you.
Yeah, it took them like 2 hours to find it. You know, they threw me in the car, and immediately I went to sleep.
Yeah.
And they're opening the door, kicking me like, "Where's the gun?" And I'm like, no. I'm like mumbling.
What gun?
Yeah, I didn't
So
have a
in
gun.
Florida,
Trying to take a nap.
they put you in front of a judge and like at 7 o'clock in the morning, no matter what time you got arrested. So I'm like
nice.
still fucking hammered.
God,
So they like put me
crazy.
in front of the judge, and the judge is like, he said something like, because I at that time I was working for the state. I was taking care of autistic kid, which I really
nice.
wasn't. I was like splitting the money with the kid's parents.
Of course.
So
I was like, wow, he's doing a nice job here. Look at this
What
guy.
a sweet boy.
I'm trying to make up for that stuff now. You know?
I was doing rails of cocaine with this kid.
Me and his mom was splitting
This
the money.
kid was 13 years old, and he'd put his shoulders back and scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
He'd make this sound. He'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
He was like
Yeah,
a
you
real,
better- yeah.
Yo, it was
Up
fucked
and
up.
about.
Yeah.
Just freeze up. You're like,
Yeah.
they said to just stare right at him.
His parents bought like his tasers.
They said,
because
"Don't
were
look
scared
away
of
and don't
him
run."
shit.
That's crazy.
So
That's insane.
I'm in front of the judge, and I'm like, okay, you can't help me. And he's like, no, you shot off a gun. I'm like, you can't help me. You can't help me. So I smacked the microphone and walked in the back. They tackle me to the ground. I
Oh,
wake
my
up in
God.
solitary, and they're like, the lawyer comes to my thing after like 2 days. I'm like cleaning up. My hair's clearing up from the Xanax.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, you're going to do 40 years. 'Cause
No.
Florida has a law. If you pull out a gun, it's 10 years. If you shoot it off, it's 20. And if you kill someone, it's life. And I had 2 people pushing charges on me for shooting off the gun. So I was like, here, take my mother's number, call her and tell her to get me the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. Like I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
So you thought your mom would get you out of a
Well, she
40-year
did-
prison sentence. Your mom would just show up and go, oh, my son's a good boy. He didn't mean it. Yeah, it was one gun.
I
and
said
one
I
bullet."
was sorry.
He said he was sorry, and
It's an
trust me,
ongoing
when
problem.
when he gets home, we're gonna give him a nice talking to.
He shot off a gun, dear. Oh, you mean that cute little one he carries
No,
around?
that's just a
nothing.
prostitute gun.
Shooter.
Yeah.
So-
I gave him that for Christmas.
Don't
You
worry
know, like,
about it.
I'm in solitary for like 7 days, and they come around, and I'm like, please let me out of here. I'm sorry.
Please.
Please. So they wind up putting me in general population. And, I know no one in prison.
course
I'm
not.
in Florida. I've only been there for like 5 months.
Yeah.
So I get into prison. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to, into population. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm going to have to fight. I have my little pencil. I'm going to stab someone. And then my boy Raul's in there, the only
Nice.
black kid I know.
Yeah, that's
He's
so
like,
funny.
Randy! I'm like, Raul!
Always Raul. Always Raul.
That was your Black Jesus.
Yeah, it was Black
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Within a half an hour, I was playing spades, had a bottom
Oh, that's
bunk, and
awesome.
life was
Wow.
good.
That's
you know,
awesome.
you know.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
That's
And then
wild.
how-
though.
It's
So-
wild,
so
yeah.
you-
Like I
that's
couldn't believe
wild.
he was in there. You know?
Without Raul, you would have had to like.
I probably would have fought.
you would have
I'm
to
still,
fight.
I'm still
Yeah.
a big guy.
No, you
Yeah.
could have
like, so
taken the
there's,
Yeah, but that's
biggest
not always
guy
a
out
good
and-
thing
No,
either
'cause-
when you're
yeah.
a big guy.
No, 'cause they're gonna wanna
trying
fight and
Yeah,
shit,
they
you
want
know.
to fucking,
Trust me,
prove
it's
something.
better being the big guy when you're in prison.
No, I'm
okay?
just saying. Like,
I'd always be the top.
yeah, you might have to toss a couple of salads,
I
but
would toss
he's
no
got to
one's
fight.
salad.
He's
I
got
already,
to fight.
I already played this out in my head if this happened. I would invite the dick sucking, right? And because I know that. Listen, I'm
Got
going to be in a
sharp
lot
teeth.
of trouble. Right, I will bite the motherfucker's dick off.
Yeah.
First things first, and then I would hold it like a trophy and a warning to everyone else.
when I was going to
Yeah.
go to prison.
I've seen Oz. I know how to handle myself.
When I
I'm
was
like
going to go to
Beecher.
prison,
Would
I
you-
always told people, I was like, just tell them I have AIDS. And my friend was like, until the guy comes up behind you and says, so do I.
So true, though.
Oh my God,
Well, let me ask you
that's
something. Would you
great.
bite, because he just bit the tip off, or would you really tease him and put the whole thing in your mouth and bite it all off?
Whole thing,
Yeah,
down
right?
to the shaft.
'Cause you would
maybe
take-
What
even
if
a
you,
ball.
what if
You would take a bit of
bit
gag.
it
I
might
and
even
then,
take a
yeah,
ball.
You choked on
I
that
know.
thing.
I might even
your
take a
plan
ball.
might fucking backfire.
If I choke, I'll gag myself.
I'm just saying.
I'll go, throw it up, make
Your
a
pla-
macaroni necklace with the dick.
Your
It's
plan
like-
could honestly
plan's-
backfire. He could wind up walking away and go, that guy sucks the best dick ever. He just deep-throated 12 inches.
No way, dude. Not if I'm biting the guy's dick off.
I'm just saying. Gag reflex. Dogs try and bite me all the time. I just stick my whole fucking hand in their mouth.
Why are
They
you
can't
sticking your
chomp down.
dick in dogs' mouths?
My hand, you asshole, not my dick. I stopped doing that years ago. I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah, you
So-
were the kid that put the peanut butter on his balls, right? Yeah, my dog licks my balls and I put peanut butter on
Yeah,
it.
if you want to call a 34-year-old a kid, yeah, sure. So what, real quick, because it's crazy that Raul was in there. He was the only guy you knew because you just moved down to Florida.
Yeah.
And
I had another friend, but he was,
He wasn't in there. Like he wasn't saving
No,
it.
yeah.
You had another friend on Earth.
to see the one black friend I have in prison.
Amazing.
Well, it was jail at the time. It was
but
amazing.
still,
yeah.
amazing. Because
You know,
again,
like-
jail could be worse than state time too. Because you got a bunch of people trying to fucking
And you
prove
fight
themselves.
more in jail
Absolutely.
before prison. Because
Prison's a whole different beast.
You're going to get stabbed in prison.
Yeah.
You know, in jail you're going
Prison's
to
a
fight because
community.
people are going to get out.
But
you know?
prison's more of like a
Yeah,
lifestyle.
because it's your
like,
life.
Yeah.
It's where you live there.
Yeah.
It's your home. You know,
Right.
like it's a big difference for sure.
But what brought you down to Florida in the first place, and how did you wind up meeting Raul in the first place?
I went. Well, Raul, I knew from Quorum. I grew up
Okay,
with him.
okay.
Dave, everyone I moved to Florida with, they were down there, and I was like, oh, I guess my life's not going well.
Typical
Yeah,
chorus.
let's
Sniff-
make the
yeah,
geographical move and
yeah.
fucking get out. It's not me.
Yeah,
Can't
exactly.
be me. It's
So
Coram.
I made
That place
yeah,
sucks.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll
I
go
have
down
friends
there.
from there. That's sad.
Who knew it was so hot all the time? You know?
Yeah.
That was the worst thing about Florida prison. It's 110 degrees
Oh, my
every day.
God.
There's no air
I never
conditioning.
thought of
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
prison in like a hot
Brutal.
zone like that.
I was in a dorm with 70 people, and you just
Oh, the
sweat in your
smell.
bed.
Yeah.
You know, like
I can't even
delicious.
imagine the smell.
Yeah.
So
Brutal.
vinegary.
You get used to it.
You've been around 70 men sweating before. What are you talking
Never.
about? You know exactly what it
Never.
smells
What
like.
happened last night?
Yeah. It smells like musk and peppermint.
Oh, it's
beautiful.
disgusting.
Yeah, there was only 2 fans. I was like the roughest part of the whole thing. You know?
the fan the whole
I
time.
wound up paying $75 to get a bed that was in 3 low, so it would be in the wind tunnel of the fan. You know, like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Prime
and
real estate.
that's all the money you get. You can only have $75 a week in commissary, and I was like, take it.
Were you
Yeah, take
making?
it.
Were you making toilet wine?
No, I didn't do. I smoked weed once in jail. They had coke in there, but I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking
No.
be staring out the
Geeking
window.
out,
Yeah,
fucking
I was like, there's no
jail?
way. And I could
Heroin,
just
maybe.
the $6 joint I got that I could see through. I could just imagine how much a pebble of coke would be in jail. You know, like-
absolutely.
And if it's brown, you know, because it comes out of his ass. you know?
It all comes out of someone's ass.
It's not
Absolutely.
white. The coke's not white.
Yeah.
I couldn't
I've never
imagine
s-
doing
What is this,
LSD.
black tar heroin? What the fuck? What am I smoking?
Imagine the bad trip you would get doing like shrooms or LSD
Oh my
while you're
God.
in prison.
I'd fucking
Even the
rip
weed,
my face off.
Even the weed, I was like too nervous, and you know,
absolutely.
like it was
You were in jail for how long?
18 months. I wound up doing.
18.
That's
So,
long.
you did 18 months.
So yeah, so I got bailed out of the jail, and
Okay.
I moved directly back to New York, and I would come every month to court in Florida.
So you got bail. That's
Yeah,
good.
so that they were telling so when I was in
Who bailed
See,
you out?
mom
Your
came through, dude.
Yeah,
See,
Superwoman.
call mom, dude.
the best lady around.
That's right.
And,
That's
well, my
right.
dad, my
They'll
dad
figure
paid
it out.
for it, but my
Yeah,
mom
but
pushed it. You know,
She'll figure it out. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Mom's gonna
Moms
figure it
know
out. Yeah.
how to handle shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was going back and forth. I went back and started working chimneys again in New York.
The job that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I could
gotta
always
pay for
get a
his
job.
bail.
Yeah, so
It's fucking
well,
restitution.
they actually paid for it, so I have to
Oh,
pay
nice.
them back. You know, they got their bail back, but you know,
Yeah, but
not
still.
all the money they sent me while I was
Nah,
in
and the
prison. for
lawyer
18 months, the
fees
lawyer-
and-
so when I was in jail, this kid told me about this lawyer Hyslop. I remember his name because he was a judge in the county for 25 years and then became a lawyer.
Hyslop?
Yeah, Hyslop.
Fucked up name.
He was when I went to court, he was representing 13 out of the 23 people on the docket. And all the other lawyers like, oh, why don't you give us a chance?
Well,
So he was telling
take
me
the
I was going to
All-Star.
get probation for 5 years. And I could switch it to New York. So for 10 months, I'm going back and forth. And then I get out to the last time, and he's like, oh, these people's, their parents or whatever, they're not giving up on this. You got to do 18 months, and you got to turn yourself in on Monday.
Ooh.
I was like, poof.
and you had to do it in Florida the whole
In
18
Florida,
months.
yeah. So
How was that? Raul wasn't there, right?
It was Raul for this whole
no
thing,
One,
you
no
know,
one was
isn't it?
there. Yeah, no.
What
I
was that
never
like?
met not one person I knew when I was in prison.
So what was that like going there fucking
It was rough.
fresh out of the gate,
like
first
I
time in
remember the
prison,
last
prison.
McDonald's breakfast I had, and then had to go to court, and I was like, "Here we go." You know,
I love
like
McDonald's breakfast.
yeah,
I know, it's so
that
good.
was the last thing. I was like,
almost
It's a good
makes
last meal.
bacon,
Getting
egg, and
the
cheese
McDonald's
biscuit.
breakfast.
Yeah, it's a good last meal.
It
yeah.
almost makes
Couple of hash
prison
browns.
worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm getting a McDonald's breakfast out of it.
I tell you, some of the prison breakfasts weren't bad either.
No?
On Tuesdays
Oh,
and
that's good.
Sundays,
Really?
they had eggs with grits, and
love
then they
grits. I
had
love
biscuits,
grits.
and I'd
How
al-
many grits?
No, yeah, like grits. You know,
Yeah, I love
grits.
grits.
How do you like your grits?
I like
Regular,
them thick.
creamy, or al
Yeah,
dente?
I like them
Yeah, I like
thick.
it
Yeah.
too.
And but they at the commissary they sell these cheese squeezes and you squeeze
Smart.
it out of the bag. So I take one to every meal and just mix it all together
That's
and put
right.
cheese in it.
I love hearing stories about these prison recipes.
Oh, man.
My friend Brian used to tell
Oh,
me
the
like,
shit I could do with a ramen noodle.
right,
Fucking make a
They used
little,
to tell me
open
the
up a Thai
sandwiches,
restaurant.
yeah.
Open up a Thai restaurant
bags
over
of
there.
Doritos, like crunch them up into a
Yeah.
powder,
Yeah.
and then the Dorito powder would be like a spice.
Yeah,
It would
that
spice
goes
up all
in there.
your
Yeah.
cooking.
Or
Yeah.
the Cheetos, the big
Yeah.
puffy Cheetos. You crush that all up and then you put
You have to be
this.
such a. That should be a good cooking show.
They do. They
Absolutely.
make it in a
Cooking.
garbage bag, and
That
we'd
would
be
be a good
cooking
cooking.
while we're all doing counts and
Absolutely.
shit.
Dude, that's a
That would be a
KC,
great
KC, you need to produce this. We have a great idea for a cooking show. Prison cooking.
prison
recipes.
cook-offs.
Cook off prison style.
Yeah, so
they
two-
make some shit. Like
Two cells,
We're putting it in
two cells,
development.
2 dorms, fuck cook-off.
Yeah. And
You can only use the shit
Yeah,
that you can
you
find
only
in
get
jail. You know.
$75 at the commissary, and you have to cook a
That's
meal.
a
Yeah,
show.
That's an episode.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
We can do
There's
that.
things that they plug into the wall and put
They're
it in
fucking
water, and
resourceful.
Right.
they'll boil water.
They're resourceful.
Maybe even the toilet wine, maybe a nice Chianti.
Not just
you know?
that, but
I've
like-
tasted that.
but
Shit's
what
disgusting.
Oh yeah, but what they do, but it's just about the effect. But what my brother and father used to say all the time, they used to always talk about that, like bragging, like, oh, we made the best, like the Thai food with the ramen and the peanut butter.
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
get the chunky peanut butter because when you, I'm like,
Oh
what
yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck?
I used to- we used to-
chunky
I love
peanut
the
butter and
stories.
ramen.
I love when they
So
describe
we wouldn't
the
break
stories.
the ramen noodle bag. You just
See.
put hot water in it and
Yeah.
then make it pliable, and then just open it up and put like a burger inside of it with a cheese squeeze, and then
See?
close it and use it like bread.
I'll
Cheese
tell you,
squeeze,
resourceful
I love
motherfuckers,
it.
dude.
Oh,
Like
they were great. They had a
MacGyver.
jalapeno one, they had
Yeah.
a cheddar one, and shit. So it made any meal better than
You got,
the
it's
meal
like
that
half,
it was. You
half
know?
Bobby Flay, half MacGyver.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
exactly.
They took pride in that shit. You
Yeah.
know, they'd make cakes and shit.
That's
you
what I'm
know?
saying. Not just that. My brother used to send me home some artwork. I mean, like birthday cards that were like fucking fuck Hallmark.
Yeah, that's what I
They
did
would
too.
fucking-
I bought like for my
unbelievable.
parents' birthdays, I'd send them pictures of themselves, like
Yeah, yeah.
portraits that the dudes would write. I'd just pay for it, cigarettes or whatever.
Yeah,
For them.
on what's it called? What are they called? The hankies.
Yeah.
Like beautiful
They'll
pictures on
do
hankies.
tattoos. It's amazing
Oh, I know.
the artwork that people could do in there. You know, you got to have some type of hustle to make money when you're broke. in
Yeah,
there, you know?
it's just crazy. The talent, the potential, all that shit, the creativity, the resourcefulness. But
Drugs
when you
brings
got,
them all down.
Yeah, of course. But when you got bailed, you know, you went to New York. You had to come back. Now, when you came back, from the time your lawyer said, "Yo, you're gonna have to do 18 months." How long was that
3
before you
days,
actually
Thursday to Monday.
get the fuck
yeah.
out of here? So you were coming down there just for another court
Yeah,
date,
another
basically.
court date. Yeah,
Did you go
'Cause
back to New
the
York
whole
to get
time?
prepared?
He was telling me no. The whole time he was telling me I had I was going to get 5 years probation.
Yep. So you go
So you
down there
got
for a court
18
date.
months?
18 months.
And you
in
had
prison,
3
yeah.
days.
It was 18 months running concurrent with another 18 months because there was 2
Oh.
cases, and then 18 months of probation. But I had a stipulation if I took a drug course while
So
I was
concurrent.
in prison,
So that's like
That means the same time.
it runs at the same
Yeah.
time.
So it's just 18 months.
Yeah,
So
so it was
doubled
eight- yeah,
18
the-
months at the same
That
time.
could have been 36.
It could have been 36
you know? That's
easily.
a whole lot of more time.
Time.
you had to serve the whole 18, or you
18
got
months, yeah.
So
And I never got in trouble because they got you got to do. I did 15 and then a halfway house. So because you got to do 85% in Florida. But if I got in any trouble, I would have to spend another July and August in prison.
Oh, that's hot.
And it's
In
brutal.
Florida?
It
Yeah,
is
it's hot.
fucking
Oh yeah,
brutal,
that's
yeah.
terrible. But what was those 3 days like? Like you go down there expecting.
I called my parents. They
probation.
sent me like $800, and I got high.
I just got wild.
Yeah,
right? What was
drunk,
going on in your
high.
head though? Like what were you thinking?
I didn't-
were
I
you
didn't-
thinking
yeah.
about running? Were you? Or you
You know,
just like,
my
fuck it?
brother had just died. Like
Oh.
probably 7 months before that, or 8 months.
So you were in a shit place.
Oh yeah, and then now it was like there was no dealing with my emotions.
You
It
were
was
back
like
in New
going-
York when that happened.
It's going back to prison. No, I was in Florida and then went back.
So you were in Florida. Your brother passes.
Yeah, and then I wound up getting arrested maybe like 3 or 4 months later. I went back home for the when my parents found out, and then I went back to Florida and got arrested.
So you're dealing with your brother passing away, and he passed away from this
Yeah.
disease, right?
You passed away from
And I-
heroin, right?
Yeah, heroin. Yeah. And this is when it was heroin. On
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
115th in Lexington, he locked himself in a bathroom, and no one could find him. You know.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Was it fentanyl or was it just heroin?
That was heroin
No, it was
because
heroin.
this is this
This
is
was
before
what?
fentanyl was around, yeah.
2015,
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. So 2009.
I went to prison, so 9 and got out in 11.
So you had 3 days. Your brother just passed away not too long ago. You're on a run, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
like you're
after
already on
that,
a run.
It was just like everything was like, I don't give a fuck. I didn't believe in God anymore.
Throw your middle finger up at God.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
just I used to say the same thing. I don't believe.
I thought I was invincible. You know,
Yeah,
especially
of course.
when I was drinking or doing coke. It was like, fuck you. I didn't give a fuck if you were a cop or whatever.
No.
You know, like,
and then when you lose people you love close to you, I lost a lot of people growing up. You get to a point, like I used to say I didn't believe in God or I lost my faith, but I fucking hated him. Like I blamed him for everything that happened.
Why
You
is this
took
all happened to me? Why me? Why me? It's
Didn't think
always
about my
me.
mother.
Yeah, no.
Didn't think about my fellows going through my brother.
You
my
don't think
sister.
about any of
Nope.
that. It's always about you and being selfish and self-centered. You know.
Yeah.
That was my whole life, 40 years. It was always about me. Like,
yeah, and that's that victim mentality.
Yeah.
That's what's so scary that they're trying to push nowadays. But so you're in Florida. He tells you this. You got 3 days. You get that money. You just start fucking getting high, right? You walk into the place. What goes on in your head? Like, are you just like trying to stay out of things, like low head?
I could get along with anyone. You know? Like
I
I have
know
a
you.
personality.
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
I
but you have no friends. You're
Nothing,
You're
so,
coming
you
to
know,
prison.
I didn't-
Is this prison or jail now?
This is prison.
prison, yeah. So I went to 2 reception centers for a month each. In
What's a
Butler,
reception center?
It's like where they put everyone before they disperse them. You know, like if you're coming home from upstate, you take a 6-hour ride to Butler, and then you would stay there, and then they transfer you to another bus and disperse you this way, whatever way you're going with different people.
But you got to hold there for like a month.
You're there for everything is slow.
But you're only doing 18 months. 2 of those months are in these holding centers.
Yeah, and then I went up, and then even coming back, I had to do. So I was probably at my prison for like 8 months, 9 months.
And how long did it take?
Which
you
it
to-
wasn't a bad prison. It was like a camp. You know,
that's
like
good.
I wasn't allowed outside
I've
the
heard
gate
that.
because
There's
I had, there was like at the reception centers, there's gangs and shit. But in my prison, there wasn't really like gangs, but there was, blacks stayed with blacks, whites stayed with whites.
And that's what you had to do too.
Not really, because I pretty much hung out with Spanish people.
So
Because there were 7 white people in a 70-person dorm, and if someone says, I'm not with you. You're on your fucking own, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna die to this shit.
Especially doing 18 months stint.
Yeah, no.
So-
I'm not a racist anyway, but
No, of course. Somebody freaking says
I'm
that.
not. Yeah, I'm not gonna get down.
But in
like
prison,
that.
it's still everything's race.
Yeah.
Yeah, to an extent. Like
Yeah.
in a big max prison, when you're at a camp, it's a little.
You were at the
different.
camp, so yours wasn't maximum security.
No, I wasn't allowed outside the gate. There was guys in my camp that could go outside the gate and cut the lawns. That's how the drugs get in and stuff. Like
Yeah, you
people
got-
throw drugs. They were allowed to mow the sides of the streets and shit.
Yeah.
I had to stay inside because I had a violent crime.
You would think
Yeah,
that,
but you got minimum-
the prison guards would catch on to that.
But
they
then,
didn't care, right?
No.
Yeah.
You got to see
You know,
like how
they're
they
more-
treat.
yeah.
Like when we'd go to visit, how they like treat, or not all of them. I'm not going to say that, but some of them are such scumbags. The way they treat women or sisters, or just how they
Yeah.
go about certain things. Like
Yeah.
They
wear
wanna make
wire
you feel like a piece
yeah,
of shit,
they want to
you know?
make you feel like a piece of shit.
I
It's
only
just-
know from
they're
watching the
better
show
than you.
Oz.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. Like,
Yeah,
you
no,
guys
it's-
have more experience than
it's-
me.
That poor guy.
You know,
Feature.
Feature.
That show did scare me going in.
Oh, absolutely.
I was like,
Absolutely.
oh,
It scared the
fuck,
shit out of me, too.
like,
Oz would scare anyone to go.
Of
to not go
course.
to
Well,
prison.
that's
Who
I
wants to go to
definitely
prison?
thought about
I
that
used
when
to have
I was
the
going
sickest-
in. Like, all right.
Yo, I used to have the
guess I'm
sickest
gonna get a
dreams
SWAT
'cause of that
sticker on
show.
my forehead.
Yeah, and a lot of shows. My brother and father in a prison. I'm visiting them all the time and watching shows like that. All I could think of is craziness.
Dude, where do you
But-
think I got my idea from? It's from
Of course.
Beecher, you know.
But
Yeah.
so
The
you,
binding of
you
the
do
day.
this.
Yeah.
You do this
Gotcha.
stint. You get in with the Spanish guys. Like you just wind up like
yeah.
mold towards them. So you do your stint. When you get out of prison, now you haven't been doing drugs this whole time.
No.
When you get out of prison, how old are you? What, 28?
Yeah.
And you
Day
just,
one.
Day one.
I had
Boom.
called and had them pick me up with an 8-ball coke. And the whole time I was in prison, I didn't do drugs, but I was just
Couldn't
like
wait.
living to, It was like trying to beat the time to get out so I can do them again.
Right,
Like,
'cause
it
you,
was-
you didn't
it
do
was-
drugs because the quality and the quantity
Yeah.
it wasn't going to be
The
worth
money,
it. You
yeah,
need
exactly.
more than what
Yeah.
that prison
But I
could
was
offer you.
sober for that fucking 18 months. Even when I was in the halfway house and shit, it was a work release program.
Yeah.
Even when I was there, I did nothing. But once they were like, "You're done, you're out," they picked me up from there, and I was off to the races again. Like
Okay.
it
And
was
then,
like I never left.
Never
it was
left.
like 18 months. I just forgot about.
And then, so that's 28, right? What's going on after? You go right back into the same job? You go right back into the same thing?
I went back. I stayed in Florida for like 4 days to hang out with my friends there. I went right back to New York and still had my same job.
Back to
in
chimneys.
Brooklyn,
And was that the only time you spent in jail? You ever get locked up again after that?
I've been locked up when I was younger.
Not after that.
Not in
though.
prison though. Never prison time. Just like not even county time. Just getting arrested and then.
And after the prison stint or after that, no more trouble. Like that. So like at this point, do you have any inkling that you even have a problem, or you're still just ripping and running? You haven't had that moment when
I thought I had a problem probably the first time I went to Florida because that's when I was like, went to geographical.
Maybe I have a little bit of a problem.
My nose is starting to bleed now,
Yeah.
and I got a big hole in my nose, and it's starting to become a problem for
Yeah,
sure.
but you just switched to crack.
Yeah. Well, so now,
Problem solved.
so after that, I was, selling probably for like another year or so, and then I robbed the drug dealers I had. So jumped in my car and just drove back to Florida. My parents had moved to Florida and retired there now.
Wow.
So they're in Boynton Beach. I drove to Florida and moved in there, and then I was just getting, I had a job. I was just doing, maintenance. I was making good money, but that's when I started smoking crack. I met this girl, and we couldn't get coke, and we got crack and a blowjob, and I was like.
And you're out of your element.
Was
There's
she
no
already-
chimneys
was
anywhere.
you hadn't smoked?
Yeah, I was doing maintenance.
Yeah,
But you
what
didn't-
the fuck
I had to
is
take
that?
5 T-shirts to work with me.
You
I
didn't-
sweat through them.
You didn't smoke crack ever before that.
No.
You're with this girl, and
No.
has she smoked crack before?
Yeah, she was.
So like after you couldn't get coke, was she like?
Yeah, like, we
devil in the blue
probably
dress.
could have got coke, but she wanted
Yeah,
crack.
yeah,
I was like, he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
have any,
exactly, yeah.
So I didn't have no dealers or anything.
Yeah,
down
but
there,
it's like crack and a blowjob sounds pretty good at that point.
That was the best thing ever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now you're on your crack. Well, when is this? How old are you at this point?
Probably 30.
Okay.
30. They're in between 30, 33, something
So
like
still no rehabs or detox
No,
or anything
still
like
no
that.
rehabs,
But
no
now you get
nothing.
into crack, and what's that like? What's
that. It was
from there to the first rehab? What's that like?
still another 7 years.
Yeah.
I started like despising Florida. It was so hot. And I went and got a truck driver's license. So I went to a school. They gave me the truck driver's license, and I drove for them. So I drove
That's
over.
a great job for a crackhead.
Yeah, well, I thought I would get away from it, but I was going. So I went for the company, and then I just started driving cross country. I'd go out for 4 weeks and come home for 3 days, and
And you didn't need much sleep.
No, anywhere I stopped,
needed more crack.
Anywhere
Like-
and you could get it everywhere. There's like no state you can't find it.
No, but a lot of truck drivers either meth
Oh.
or crack.
Yeah.
And some
I didn't do
coke.
meth because I liked girls.
Yeah. Not like Justin over here.
What are you talking? You're the one talking about sucking dick all the time and banging guys.
No,
Come
I did.
on.
I did do a lot of meth and GHB, but still.
I said one thing about
Yeah.
biting a guy's dick off in prison. All of
But
a sudden, I'm the gay.
I de-raped this
You
myself.
wanted it all the way in.
Yeah, exactly. You said, I asked you the question, I was waiting for your answer, and you said, no, not the tip, the whole thing.
Tactical.
And it was the way you said it,
This
too.
is
You even
tactical.
said the balls.
This is tactical.
You even said the balls,
This
too.
is a combative tactical pretense.
We made the gargle sound.
No.
So
Well, you
you're...
got to sell it. You got to sell it. I mean, come on.
You got to get them in there. So I driving cross country. I took a job for Home Depot driving trucks in Baltimore.
Nobody has more jobs than you.
My
This
brother-
guy's got a
it was the
thousand
same.
jobs.
It was in the same
That's what we
company.
do.
I was driving trucks, but
Yeah.
I wasn't going back and forth. I was
Yeah.
just in Baltimore driving from one Home Depot to the distributor to the other ones.
Right.
I wind up hitting a lady. She ran into me or whatever, and then
What, in the car or
in the truck.
her person? Oh, okay.
her car hits
right, that's
my
not so
truck.
bad.
It wasn't even that bad, but so I didn't know this. They sent someone to drug test me right on the side of the street.
Okay.
like I had
Really?
no chance to go
Because
get
you were a truck
pissed.
driver?
Yeah, because I'm a
Wow.
truck driver. They send someone right out to the accident and
Yeah.
they make you piss in the back of the
Yeah.
truck.
And that
So
came
I-
up positive.
Yeah, it came up positive for
Hot
cocaine.
as hell.
Yeah, it came
Whoever
up-
tested it got high.
Yeah.
It came up positive for cocaine. So they were like, within a day, they were like, you got to, get out of the truck. So I drove the truck back to the yard.
They give you a day,
Yeah.
even though you're
So-
on coke. That's interesting.
And that one day, I got a chimney job and came
Of
back.
course you did. Yeah.
I was never going to do this again.
Yeah.
I came back and they dropped me right off at the Hempstead bus terminal, and it all started over.
Jeez.
So you
find a
came
job.
back here, you find a job, but that's what we're good at. I was a puppy salesman for 3
But
hours.
he's finding jobs. A day after he gets fired for cocaine, he gets another job.
A chimney job is all on commission. So they're like, oh, you've done it for 20 years? Yeah, come.
Absolutely.
You know, I'll make the guy $5,000 in one day. And, and they'll be like, oh, you got a job here for life.
Yeah, they don't care.
So
you come back here for this sales position with Judy, and you get dropped off in Hempstead.
Got dropped off. I stayed at this girl's house for 3 days and then moved into that place that I rented a room in Elmont. I was smoking crack and just doing. And then one day my cousin calls me. He had some coke or whatever, and I wound up taking his car and getting stuck. And, he thought I stole the car, but I was just like stuck in a parking lot. Like, I couldn't move. He's like calling me, and I'm like, I can't look. I can't do nothing. I'm like, stuck,
when you get stuck, you're stuck.
So,
stuck.
So then
people just on the city street. Just
like a week later, I got paid again and spent it all in one night. It was like $1,800 or something. And I called my cousin, and him and Brenda Barry came within an hour, picked me up, and took me to NUMC. And
this is your first. This
so
is your
when,
first
the first time. What year is this?
2021, probably.
2021. So 2021.
during
I was
COVID.
40 years.
Yeah.
When I really started thinking about it, when I turned 40, my dad texted me. He said, I hope your next 40 years are easier than your first.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Isn't that crazy?
I guess they know.
Yo, I didn't have them fooled that whole time.
I thought
what the fuck?
I thought I had it in the bag.
Also,
funny.
I was just drinking a little,
But
also quite optimistic for your dad to say your next 40 years. You're great living to 80. That's pretty optimistic.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
Yeah, but it's true though, because my best friend used to say that to me all the time. He's like, "Yo, why don't you just stop, dude? The life you've lived is like fucking 80-year-old men can't say they lived that life.
No,
like you could have a totally different life. How cool would that be?" And
I can see that now.
Now,
like even with relationships, I have 15 months. I still don't want to get into a relationship because I feel like I've had enough girls, and I really want to work on my sobriety and make this last forever. Yeah, because.
And listen to what you're saying. But listen to what you're saying. Like
I would never think
there was so many
know?
situations you just brought up now that there was a girl involved in.
Yeah,
So
there's always
of course,
a girl,
I know.
Common denominator.
Yeah.
And I, being in the sober house and managing, I could see these guys
getting
get
fucked
girls. This girl starts fucking with someone else, and they're smoking crack, and they're gone.
There's three common denominators. There's a girl, there's a chimney, and there's crack.
Well, the chimneys definitely supported everything. That kept the girls around. That kept everything.
But the crack is like the constant in the experiment.
Yeah,
Everything else is variables. Like it can't be the crack or me that's fucked up.
I just had one of my friends. One of my friends is relapsed, and he's like, "Oh, I did kratom and coke, and he's a crackhead." I'm like, "What a waste! You doing coke now?"
Wait, but so this your first rehab is
2021.
Is that where you got it? Were you like, okay, I'm trying, I'm going to do the steps, get a sponsor, do all that stuff?
And I did all that, and I was sober for 9 months. I went to the detox at NUMC. I did the 30 days at NUMC, and went into Danny's house. I was there for 9 months.
Oh, okay.
I got into a fight with Danny, went back to that Elmont room, and was smoking crack before I even got there.
And then how long was that stint for?
That was like a year and a half.
Anything crazy? I mean, a lot of things crazy, but anything specific in that year and a half that, like, again,
I had my car stolen like 4 times from girls.
Okay.
Girls. This is the same boss that.
We're not saying anything bad about women or that they're bad luck or anything like that.
We're
just saying we make bad choices with women.
I'm just a piece of shit. It's the girls I bring myself around.
Is crazy. The statistical odds of dating 4 girls that are also car thieves.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Now, was it the same car? That
never go into 7-Eleven and leave a car running with a girl in there that you just picked up to do drugs with.
Now, question: were they 4 different cars, or were they?
No, it was one car, and
you kept on
twice.
getting back.
It didn't have 4 times.
All right, good. That's not too bad.
So at one time I was gone for 3 months, and my boss was paying my insurance through his name, and he's like, "Should I still pay?" I'm like, "Pay the insurance." And it came back. I got it back.
Probably the best time to pay the insurance.
What goes around comes around. I'll get it back.
Not that I would have any. The car was only like $3,000 or something, but I wanted the car to come back, and then I could just start driving it again. Because at this point, I'm just using my motorcycle to drive down Terrace Avenue with a fucking Harley, like in the middle of the night all night. they could hear me coming 4 miles away.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised I never got arrested.
Well, that's
there,
what
you
I
know?
was going to say. Like, that's so funny. But that's 2021.
Yeah. So
Right.
when did the rehab come where like you're on, like you're sober now? How long you?
15 months.
Yeah.
Well-
when did that happen?
Well, he got a couple of different
Yeah.
rehabs, right? So after that, in the 9 month,
Yeah.
what happened after that led you to the next rehab?
So this time, the last time was, you know, I told you I did the heroin, the bump of heroin, the OD'd. He moved me into the place, and then I robbed him. So I took that money, and then I was just like homeless because I had nowhere to go.
How long were you homeless for? Smoking crack?
So I went to DSS. They put me in a hotel probably like 3 weeks.
Just you in a hotel,
And yeah, a girl. I had 2 girls in there at that point.
and then
And then I was like, I called my friend Chris, he's out there now. But I talk to him all the time. He just won't get it. But he came. He was the only one. He came and picked me up and took me to NUMC, and that was it. I was just back into it.
But what was different? Like, did you feel it was different from the jump?
Yeah,
or
I
you
was
were just
because
like,
I really felt like I hit a bottom. You know, I robbed this guy that I really liked that did a lot for me, and you know, I was homeless from it. Now, you know, I was in DSS hotel smoking crack with crackheads, and I OD'd on heroin,
You were
which I said
desperate.
I would never do because my brother died from it, and I just gave up to God. You know,
It's God.
The
That's what
first
it
time
is.
I went through the steps, I never really, you know, gave my will to God. I kind of just jumped over the second and third step.
You're
It was
jumping the
just
ninth
like, yeah.
step in some cases.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
but it
But
was
yeah.
God.
God is definitely
what
the big
happened.
part of my life now, and that's the only reason I feel like I'm sober.
I feel it. I sense it from everything you told me. Like God entered your life, and God was always there,
Yeah.
but you allowed God
Yeah,
into your
exactly.
life, and that's when things started to change.
I definitely did.
but what was the
Yeah.
moment like you allowed like?
I was
Can
just,
you draw back to like that moment where you were just like, fuck, I gotta call
I
Chris?
was in a room. It was me and 2 other girls, and they were working. You know,
Yeah.
Working girls, you mean prostitutes?
Yeah.
No, they were making those little fucking
don't know,
Japanese
they-
art, fucking
I don't fucking
origami.
know.
I had
Maybe
a
they were
little.
building chimneys.
They
I don't
were.
fucking
They were
know.
making
I had a
origami in the
sweatshop
bathroom.
in the back. You know, they were building little hats and shit. Putting Nike signs on shit.
They were fucking making art on handkerchiefs because he missed prison. He was going to send some.
So
to
it was
his
my
mom.
hotel room, and they
Just
were
wanted to
working.
clear
And
for the listener.
I was up for 4 days, and I was like, I just couldn't do it anymore. I was just like done.
And,
I was looking at these girls. I'm like, what the fuck?
So
am I
are you
doing,
high
know?
now, or are you coming down and just
I'm
looking
like
around
coming
like,
down,
and
you
you're
know,
just like,
like,
what
yeah.
the fuck am I doing
What
with
am
my
I
life?
doing? And I have to go into rehab when I'm fucked up, like, or coming down. I can't go to, if I go to sleep, I'll wake up and be like, I can make this work.
Me
I'll
too.
go-
That-
I'll
but
go
that's-
get another job, or
Yeah.
I'll do this. I
That's
can
the
drop
window.
this,
But that's
you know,
that's the moment of desperation
Yeah.
that people don't understand. That window closes so fast.
Yeah.
And
And
if you
I
don't
knew,
jump in with
yeah.
both feet, yeah, you knew because you had the
So he
experience.
dropped
So
me
did I.
off there, and they put me through the whole thing. And he bought me a bottle of liquor because I only smoke crack, so they won't take you into a detox for crack.
So weird, right?
Yeah, it's
Hey,
fucked
you're
up.
sober, so the detox won't tell you here. Have some drugs.
Yeah.
So
Drink this,
I
you'll
I
be
knew-
fine.
remember. That's what happened to me too.
I knew
Crazy.
Pasquale from the first time at NUMC, so they kicked me back out at midnight. I waited there till 6 in the morning in the lobby and called Pat, and he's like, "Get me back in." He's like, "Oh, I'll get you a tune-up, kid." And
Pasquale.
he's like, "Go back up to the counter." He got me into the detox, and then I went to Seafield from there. And I never stopped. And my counselor in Seafield was real good. This good lady, Gina. I talked to her probably like every month or so. Still.
Gina. Nice
And,
Italian,
you know,
huh? Nice Italian girl.
And,
Oh.
yeah, and during that time in detox and rehab, did you feel different during? Like, were you paying attention to more shit when the speakers
I
were
was
coming
definitely
in?
going, and I knew some of the speakers from my 9 months.
And how long did it take you before you started feeling good? Was it after rehab? Was it during?
It
rehab?
was probably during rehab.
Yeah.
'Cause
Especially at
then also
Seafield,
I
right?
probably didn't eat for like 5 days, so I went into rehab at like 270 and came out at like 310. I would just eat, drink. Then they have the milk like a nipple over there.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Seafield?
You gotta get the protein
just drinking
in, dog.
that milk,
Oh,
like
all
cup
day.
after cup after cup,
Crushing
after cup.
milk all day.
Sandwiches and
Yeah, it's good for the
thirds
teeth and bones. But
I always felt like milk made me better.
oh, of course it did. Yeah, even when I was shooting dope, I'm
Yeah.
like, as long as I'm drinking this milk, I'll be okay.
Down
And there's
orange
always
juice
food.
and a bottle of milk and
Don't
go.
drink
Yeah.
my
Meals.
milk. Don't drink my milk.
In rehab, there's 3 meals a day. There's always
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
apples
Good
and
food,
bananas. and-
coming from off the streets, it's like fucking amazing.
Of course. But what's cool is like, I remember detox rehab, and I could go through a couple of different things because, like, your mind starts to open up, right? Things start clearing up. You get that window, you jump through it, and then like throughout that time, if you just pay attention, you start to see little signs, little seeds that are planted. Somebody says something clicks, and it's like through that process, something starts to build through detox, then rehab. So do you have any like serious moments like that where somebody said something, a speaker or a counselor, and it just hit?
I wouldn't say just one perfect time, but it's like they're not lying to you. The people that come there and speak and tell you these things, like, I did have that 9 months, so my life did get better. I did save up money, got an apartment. I did get a motorcycle. I did have like $8-9 grand when I left the fucking sober house.
But did you get any peace and contentment during that time?
Not as much, like because I didn't believe. Like I go to church now all the time. I love God. I do all my readings. I pray. Yeah, I didn't. So I thought I was doing it myself, and I feel like I also had like an expectation that I would be able to do drugs again.
Reservation.
Yeah. So when now I know there's if I smoked weed, I'd be done for.
Well, when you got out of rehab, were you like hair on fire, 90 meetings in 90 days, sponsor right away? Did you get a sponsor
I've missed maybe like 3 days since I've been out of rehab. I go to a meeting every day.
Oh, I know you do. I help a lot of people, take other people. So when you got out of rehab, though, you jumped in, because I remember you telling me before we got on the podcast that you had 5 months before you started.
Yeah, so I went to the Seafield Sober House. I'm their outpatient. I just graduated their outpatient like a month and a half ago.
That's awesome.
So I was
Seafield outpatient.
I was in it for 13 months, which I enjoyed it.
It's a
long time.
When you want to be sober, it's good shit.
Because everybody has something else to say. Like it's just more tools.
You learn a lot.
Exactly. More like perspective. You just start to open
being
up.
at a sober house, I could go there and vent my shit there.
Yeah.
I can't vent the shit at a meeting where it's going to get back to everyone.
Exactly.
And shit,
you got your one-on-ones, you got your group, and like it's just different.
I did it for about 12 months.
I did it for a year. Yeah.
So I was at Seafield Sober House for 5 months. So, and then my sponsor owns a sober house, and the house manager's on happened. So he's like, I felt like he was like kept saying it, and he told me the deciding point was because we were supposed to meet on Saturday, but I was like, I can't meet you on Saturday. Because me and my friend Nick were going to try to make 7 meetings in one day and try to break the record because they were saying
that's
it was
a record,
6. It was something like that. And he was like, "That's when I knew you would be perfect for this job."
Yeah, that's great.
So then at 5 months in, I went to manage a sober house, and I go to the house. There's guys there that have 2 years, 1.5 years, and it is what it is. I still feel my sobriety's better than theirs. I want to go to meetings. They're going to do a lot of people. We're a 12-step house, so you have to go to 3 meetings a week. You have to on Sundays we have a house meeting and an AA meeting there, and you have to be accountable for what you're doing. You have to be going through the 12 steps.
So wait, you're a manager?
Yeah, he's a sober house manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Integrity House.
Yeah, stop watching the fucking game and get your head out of your ass.
I'm not watching the game. I'm not watching.
So also during this time, I had gotten I'm a peer advocate. A Sherpa. I've gotten a Sherpa license.
Oh, I thought you said a Sherpa.
Sherpa.
I'm like, you do Buddhism?
I got these drug addicts up the mountain.
Yeah, jump off. Because the way you're going, you ain't gonna make it.
You'll never make it, fucker. Go to more meetings.
No, but that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So now
I
work
so much
for an outpatient. And I take people to meetings and I do all that stuff, which is great.
And all this in
awesome.
400 days?
400 Sundays, yeah.
You would think that's not a lot of time, to get all this done.
Yeah, but it's quality time.
And
his fucking year and a half.
That's unbelievable.
400 days is like some people's 20 years. You know
For
what
me
I mean?
personally, I was not there at 400 days where you are. I was
But-
still struggling. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I started.
Well, I felt
think-
like being a house manager keeps me in the whole mix of things. So
Yes.
if I get an apartment.
When
or
did you
be by
complete the
myself,
steps?
Probably 7 months.
Okay, see, I completed steps at what, like
I still
a year and a
do,
half,
yeah.
roughly. Yeah,
Yeah, but you were going through them. It just
Right.
takes some people a little longer than others, but as long as you stay consistent with it. But what he was saying before, what you did was hard, though. It's like, I know it kept you on, but having 5 months, and like I was a sales manager in California for this big marketing firm. And when I went in there, nobody knew me. It was a different industry, and these guys were there for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's like I had to go in there in a certain way, not ruffle feathers, but also not take shit in order to like be like, no, I'm here to lead, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm here to lead. So like going in there with like 5 months.
I threw out one kid. This kid, he'd come in late. He'd take overnight pass and then just use it to come home late instead of staying out and shit. And then he had his kids there, and I was like, he would
He had
have
his
his kids
kids?
on the weekend. I was like, yeah, you can't have kids at a fucking sober house, you know. So I wind up. He's my friend too. So we wind up. I talk to John. He throws him out of the house, and then I come back in the house, and I'm like, I just want you guys to know. Adam was my friend. You know, I'll throw any one of you fuckers out. You know, yeah. Like I like the guy, but
piss test people,
you can't.
random piss tests.
Random piss.
I was
test.
there when they were piss testing me. I spoke at their sober house.
Yeah.
We have mouth
As soon as-
swab. We have instant mouth swabs, breathalyzers.
I never got
so-
random piss tests. Well,
I got a
No,
cup. I
you
got a
should.
cup in the car.
Yeah, you should. You should piss test them. Yeah, absolutely.
You were looking sweaty earlier.
I'm a little sweaty. It's a little warm
It
down
is.
here, isn't it?
It is. So I'm most proud of is 50% of all my money goes to financial amends.
Yeah.
Then that's real hard to do.
Oh, I know.
But you got to do it. That's how you stay sober. That's how you. Yeah.
Every time I pay, I'm like, I don't want to, but I,
know.
definitely
But
feel
you
better.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
there's a spiritual aspect to like letting
know,
go of money, and
there's
I came in with like $100,000 worth of debt, and I'm still paying some of it off. But it's like you learn to do those little things, like set up envelopes, and don't break the bank. Like give them 50% of your paycheck, because then you won't last. You won't be consistent. Whether it's $100 split up into 5 envelopes over time.
Well, I
it's
wanted to
gonna
get
build
this
up.
one done.
That's
The
different. You have some of
$6,000
those.
I took.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
you could invest the
And,
money and
don't
then
listen.
start
That's
paying
another
back
thing,
from the profits.
What's great
No.
about the sober house is I live for free. I can eat for free. I got a car for free. So everything, all I pay for is gas on the car.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's easy I would like to take care of all that as soon as possible.
No,
so
no,
I don't
but-
have these bills that I would
Right.
if I was in the,
Yeah, but you're doing the right thing. You're being consistent. Yeah, the lump sum ones, the big ones, the ones that are really like itching at you to take care of. But again, you're doing everything with guidance and how you're supposed to do. And when we do that, again, get out of our own way, beautiful shit starts to happen. You know what I mean? So
And
you're
God is at the center of everything.
yeah, which I know for sure. And that's part of the thing. You kind of got into that right away too, right? Like when you started believing in Jesus, God, that was a process that
church.
grew.
I
Yeah.
go to
It wasn't just
Center Point
believing in
Church.
Jesus.
I
It's
love
more
it.
of also trusting.
Yeah,
Right?
trusting
That's
that
one
the
thing
whole
that
process
yeah.
that this is going to work.
Right.
Like,
That's what it came
I'm
down for
thinking
me.
in
It
my
wasn't
head,
just
like I just
believing.
gave up 6,000. Something better happened
Yes.
here.
But you've been
Trust.
But
Yeah.
you've been proven that through
Yeah.
your time. Every time you do a little something different,
Yeah.
right,
Things get better. Yeah.
So you're like your faith builds as you
I,
go. 'cause
like I
it's
see
proven to you.
newcomers come in and how shaky they are. I was like that, like
too, yeah.
my whole body is like I'm calm. Nothing bothers me. I don't get angry. I was very angry. I thought
You don't
I
seem
was.
angry.
Yeah, well,
I'm
now-
That's
not.
why,
No, yeah,
like
like-
hearing him speak and getting to know him in this last hour or whatever. All the stories, you don't seem like that person.
And I
you know?
feel it's because of going through the steps and finding God
And God, yeah.
like,
It is.
That's what
wanting
it
to
is.
help people. Like my high now is
Yes.
I went and picked up a meth head in Manhattan the other day, and I was racing out there at 80 miles an hour to go get
Yeah.
him, and I felt like I was going to a drug
That's
dealer.
right.
It was so
That's
good.
right.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
going to save this little motherfucker.
Yeah.
And get in the car.
That's
I'm
right.
hoping there's someone there that you owe money to so I could beat him
Yeah,
up.
that's
Right.
right. Yeah, but
Like-
that's the idea. Now you're just in a different life. I say that all the time too. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you're not going to get high again. I'm just saying that it doesn't have to be off drugs and
Yeah.
alcohol again.
Yeah, no,
That's what he told me when I
definitely
got out
feel
of
it.
rehab.
Yeah.
He told me that, and that meant a lot to me because I was, I didn't want to live this boring life of sobriety that I had in my head where you just don't do anything, you're never really experiencing anything, but you're sober. Like, fuck that,
No.
man.
You go
That's
12
not
steps
life.
someone, you feel that dopamine
That's right.
hit,
That's
like-
right.
And the best part is you don't think about yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
you're
actually,
not
Joe
worried
didn't
about
say.
your worries.
Yeah,
Joe said it a
exactly.
little different. He goes, he when I got out of rehab, he says, "Oh, Scungili, let me tell you something about the life
Yeah,
over
that's-
here. It's very good. You
that's-
don't need the drugs and the alcohol.
Yeah, see, he's back to doing it again. That's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. No, well,
That's a full circle.
yeah, exactly. Shane Gillis said like because he was doing a comedy thing like where they just yell out a word and they're like Italians. And he's like Italians are the last people you could be openly racist to.
Yeah.
And I take pride in that. I like that. My
They
people
don't
are like,
have
it's
no
all right.
fucking pride about this shit.
Yeah, exactly. No,
All right, so let's close up the show. Joseph, would you like
It's the
some
worst.
calamari?
It's
Would
the
you like
worst
some
Italian accent.
calamari?
I know. You said it good though. You said it better going. No, Randy, you're the man, dude. You help a lot of
thank you.
people. I'm grateful that a guy like you is still around doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're a testament to how the program works, and just keep doing it, man. God bless.
What a
thanks for
great
coming
guest.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
and
I
thanks for
had
coming
a
on
good
last
time.
minute.
Yeah.
We-
I'll come back on.
Yeah, and if you see Sal around with the Russians or the,
Yeah,
or the
where is
Chinese,
Sal.
It's not the Sal I know from young, right?
Sal is
We
still
haven't
missing.
seen him in a while. Yeah,
Sal was supposed to be our guest,
Yeah.
and he's been missing for a few weeks
Yeah,
now.
so we might take a poll, like maybe callers could call in or something. You think the Russians got him, the Chinese, or the aliens?
We don't know.
He's probably with Hammer.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, thanks, brother. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Thanks for
Later.
having me.